Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Fan Cams. Feel a little bit speechless, to be honest. I can't believe we're back to being here for therapy. I honestly feel utterly embarrassed. It's the biggest ever Anzac Day win, 77 points. And I quite frankly think that's incredibly flattering that they scored 17 behind and a couple out on the full. And then we got a few junk time goals in the last quarter. So this should have been a bigger deficit. And we got a dopamine hit over the last couple of weeks, and we got a reality check today. But even outside of the occasion, and I know the occasion is important, but I don't want to see this happening on any day to any team. If we lose like we did last week, going down with fight and with some pride. And the pride should be then non-negotiable. It's non-negotiable. And today it felt very negotiable, particularly from our older players. So many contests where Collingwood players just wanted it more. And that is what I can't digest. I cannot watch senior players go into contests and sit and watch and wait for the easy ball while 2-3 Collingwood players are going so hard at the ball, just wanting it more. I thought our senior players set the tone with their lack of fundamental skills. I know the pressure was high, and Collingwood, to their credit, were putting on a lot of pressure, but our inability to hit simple handballs, 5-metre handballs, overcooking handballs from the get-go. I think Caldwell did the first one in the middle, missed a player, 2 free players in the corridor with a shocking handball. And yeah, of course, and congratulations to Scott Pendlebury, unbelievable. But we set all kinds of records today, and it wasn't for the good. None of them were good. We allowed them they took 125 uncontested marks to our 81. We got smacked, absolutely whipped at the centre clearance. And yeah, Peter Wright had a bad day. I don't think it was like a lazy day, but I think he just got completely outclassed. I think he had a shocking day. And I think our midfielders, I don't know, some of our setups, I could be reading this wrong, and maybe one of you knows football better than I do and can tell me a bit about the setup at centre bounce. But why are we not putting more body on the Collingwood midfielders at centre bounce and allowing them to stand facing their goal? Because I don't know, they just had their way with us, I think, in every part of the ground. But the centre bounce setup was very strange for me. Again, I don't know, I could be missing something in terms of the structure and the system. The other thing I absolutely freaking hated was, okay, granted, tick 1 for trying some stuff, but when a forward system was working quite well in the last 10 weeks, why are we taking Edwards out of the forward line and putting him on the wing? Okay, devil's advocate, they want to try something different, disrupt the Collingwood plans with a different kind of player. And I guess they did want to use kind of Langford as that Ridley role, in kind of interchanging with Jackson Pryor. He had a more one-on-one direct opponent for most of the day, but just some very strange decisions, but some really, really poor performances. In fact, outside of this is why we're here, raw feelings, but outside of Archie Roberts, who I thought had almost a better game than he had last week, I think he was way more impactful with his possession today, and he was someone who was going in hard at every contest. His body was on the line. I thought he had a terrific day. I thought Archie Day-Wicks had some good moments, but probably didn't impact after his goal and mark enough. And I thought Salah Hooley had a pretty good day as well. I think he led our intercepts, and I thought he, again, lacked a bit of class and polish, but man, there is not a lot to like from this game. I thought Blackiston, that, All right. Again, devil's advocate in the third quarter. Peter Wright got shifted to the forward line and they put Blackiston in the centre and he won. I think he had our most clearances. I could have read those stats wrong, but I think he had our most clearances and that's embarrassing. But we finally put him in the centre in that third quarter and we got the first clearance and then we got a goal from that clearance. So I thought he battled okay in the second half, but the first half, our skills were embarrassing, highly embarrassing. Yeah, I think we did miss Ridley. Some of his just, I don't know what people felt. How did you feel at home, people watching at home at the ground? It was exhausting, like exhausting in the first half before the game kind of opened up when it was in tight and it was high pressure. It was just turnover after turnover and it was just exhausting watching it, spectating it. I can't imagine how it would have been on the field, just consecutive turnovers. Hello, Muzz.
Hello. This is getting to a point where I'm getting sick of this now. Like this is beyond a joke. You can't sit there and tell me we come up against the Collingwood side. Probably hasn't been that good at all this season whatsoever. But last week we go up against the Gold Coast side. We take it up to them over there. Much harder to play over there than what Collingwood is at the MCG, and we do that.
They haven't hit 100 points in 17 games, I believe that stat was. Again, breaking all records for the most embarrassing records. Are we trying to hit a quota of breaking the most embarrassing records for 2026?
They let a 50-year-old guy only have 50 possessions and 2 goals. Gunston did that to us a month ago.
You're right.
What is going on?
He just owned the corridor.
We go up against Brisbane next week. Well, I'm not watching that game. We're going to do that.
Yeah.
I sat there today with a bunch of Collingwood supporters around me. My whole family goes basically for Collingwood.
Your family?
Yeah, all my family goes for Collingwood.
So why did you pick Essendon? You could have had a much happier life.
Fuck. I gave up. I sat there. I watched through the pain, but yeah, Roberts had a good game. I thought Archie Day Wicks had a good first half. The best half I've actually seen him play, to be honest. I thought he did really well. Saido Hooley, I thought had some brilliant moments too. Don't know where Edwards was at all today. He wasn't in the forward line. Don't know where Brad Scott put him. No.
On the wing.
On the wing. I don't know why he's playing on the wing for. We had a rhythm going into this game from the Gold Coast game that we did last week. I thought we played, although we lost by 9 points, I thought we came in with a good momentum coming into this week. Get up and about. Play a Collingwood team hasn't done much better than us, to be honest, this season. They've gotten a few lucky ones against Carlton and whatnot. We were appalling. I don't know how else to describe it.
Well, appalling is the correct word. Embarrassing.
It's embarrassing. It's pathetic. And it's getting to a point where I'm starting to question what this football club actually is, because there's nothing. Caddy, what was he doing tonight? Nothing. He kicked 2 goals. Good on him, but he didn't know better than anyone else.
3 goals.
3 goals. I didn't watch the final 5 minutes, so he probably kicked a goal. Didn't he?
Yeah, one in the last.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think we also had an embarrassingly low amount of inside 50s as well. So, in fact, this could be recency bias, but have we delivered the ball inside 50 worse this year? I reckon that is almost taking the cake today.
You're probably right. I think we did better against Hawthorn delivering inside forward 50 than we did tonight.
Yep.
And we got smacked by Hawthorn.
Just
Full credit
really
to Collingwood and what they did. full credit to Collingwood what they did. They deserved the win. They played better than us the whole game.
Mm.
But we've got some thinking to do this week. We've got Brisbane on Saturday, 12:35 at Marvel Stadium. We're going to get our asses kicked if we don't shape up. I mean, I don't know. I'm lost for words, Fiona. This is...
I don't know. Again, I'm cautious to go the excuse part rather than, excuse versus explanation. But I don't see any excuses for what they put out there today. Some of the players, particularly the senior players, they have a carbon copy. They have the evidence in front of them. What output happened? What's the result from the first couple of weeks when your application is not there compared to the last 10 quarters? How did it completely go wrong? And I think a few of you have said in the chat, way too much jogging, way too much happy jogging. And someone said enjoying the sunshine. I know it's illogical to think that they are consciously saying I'm not going to try here, but that's what it looked like. How can it look like that? I don't understand.
As I said, we head into Brisbane less than a week's time, and what we've played today, if they show up against like that Brisbane next week at Marvel, we're getting done. We've got Giants at NG, I think, the week after that, and we've got Freo at the MCG the week after that. So, yeah, I don't know, but we need to see massive improvements. Otherwise, yeah, this is going the same thing that happened last year. We're going back on another rung of a losing streak.
Yeah. Look, okay.
This is just writing the script.
Yeah, you're right. I understand that, and I've said it multiple times that I still think we were going to have some big losses this year, but there was just a flavour to this loss. Correct me if I'm wrong, but there was a flavour to this loss that just felt, I don't know, just it had a stink to it. It had a Port Adelaide game stink to me. That game made me feel sick to my stomach in terms of just a lack of, I don't know, intent. Even though I know logically it probably wasn't, this is what this one felt like to me.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what people say about us during the week, because what we're going to get, we deserve it.
Yeah, we do. We absolutely do.
We're going to get hammered, and we bloody deserve it. We need to wake up, have a reality check, and we got that tonight.
How much of it do you think was the age factor and the inexperience?
Yeah, it would have played some role in it, but yet again, we don't lose by 77 points like that. Yeah, we can go down to respectable teams. I wasn't expecting us to probably win this game anyway, but it's the fight we need to show. Like, they have no excuse for losing by 77 points. They showed no effort in that last quarter. You cannot tell me, besides Roberts, who gave a shit that quarter.
Yeah.
No one did. Langford went up forward. He had 2 goals. Caddy had 2 goals that quarter too. What happened after that? Collingwood piled on 6 goals.
9 goals. 9 goals, Albert. Thank you, Albert. And someone, sorry, I don't know who said it, but is that true? Collingwood had more tackles than us in the last? Yeah, unbelievable.
Collingwood had more tackles than us in the last.
That shows that they gave up a little bit. There was a training drill.
We let Pendlebury get to nearly 45 disposals. Dacos had, for so much for tagging him, having a role for him tonight, what Brad Scott said pre-game. We had a plan for Dacos, he said on Fox Footy. There was no plan for Dacos. He got off on the loose in the second half. Don't know where Andy McGrath was. He was nowhere near him.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I thought a better player. I think with Dacos, a better player just won the battle in that 1v1. But it's, yeah.
And I'm feeling bad for people like Merritt, like Parrish, like Roberts. Even Parrish didn't know him that good.
I don't feel bad. I don't feel bad. I feel bad for Roberts, but I don't feel bad for the other two.
I feel bad for Roberts. I feel bad for some people. Peter Wright, your guy, I mean, he got outworked tonight. Blackiston really didn't help in the ruck tonight. He got outworked. And he got really worn out. I'm not blaming Wright for this. This has nothing to do with Wright. I thought he actually did okay for what he could do.
Yeah, Blackers did okay, and actually, as I said, we won the clearance, the first ruck kind of. But that begs the question: what should the coaches have moved him in the center in the second quarter earlier? When it was going quite obviously the one way when Darcy Cameron and, to be fair, Steen, I'm getting confused. Oscar Steen. Is that the ruckman? Yeah. When they were just getting, on top of Peter Wright. Should the coaches have moved Blackiston straight in there?
Blackiston should have gone with Steen, in my opinion. But our defence, it's lacking a lot, and we can see what happens when Redmond and Ridley go out. Although it shouldn't be up to those two to hold that group together at the back line. We really saw what happens tonight when we get exposed. And
I mean, I will say that Blackiston played on Membry in the back line, and Membry didn't kick a goal, or behind. So he did a pretty good job.
It wasn't only him. I thought Sada Hooley did well on Elliott too. Wasn't expecting that matchup. I thought our Hooley did really well on Elliott. He had Elliott probably 85% of the game tonight.
Yeah, Elliott's lost a bit of that speed, hasn't he? He's still a very good player, but he's lost a bit of that dangerous ground level.
Yeah, I thought who else was it from Collingwood that didn't have a big impact that I thought would have had more of an impact? Jack Crisp running off halfback didn't have much as an impact as I thought he would have either. I thought he was really going to hurt us tonight. I thought he was going to kill us tonight. After what I thought the first quarter was good. Didn't mind it. The second quarter, it was iffy on both team sides. The third quarter, when they kicked, I think it was the first, I don't know how many goals they kicked on us. I think it was like the first 2 or 3. I'm like, this game's going to get away from us. And I'm sitting there looking at it going, what do we show now? What has Brad Scott told them at halftime? And what's the message to the players at halftime? Because it certainly wasn't go out there and give an F of what was happening. We were within 14 points. We got back in between, I think it was 9 points at some stage during that second quarter too. We were in that game right up to them. What Brad Scott said at halftime, I don't know. But yeah, I don't know what I'm going to say to you if I'm flabbergasted, to be honest. I don't know.
And I know there's there's a lot of explanation that can border into excuses. We travelled, we had one less day versus two days in between games. But TL, I think I agree with you. 7 days should still be enough. And I'm going to say I think it was because that training, they were in plenty of energy. So I don't think it's an excuse, and I don't think we should be letting them off with that excuse because we need to be setting the bar high and
Collingwood goes into a 5-day break this weekend, going up against Hawthorn on Thursday. I'm going to watch that game. I'm going to see what happens, and we'll see how bad of a short period of time break 7 days is for our boys, because if Collingwood goes up to Hawthorn next week, even wins that game or gets close to Hawthorn, well, that's where we're at in the competition.
Yeah. It's interesting. I feel like we won the tackling count, but I also don't feel like we tackled well at all. So I reckon we left a lot of tackles out there. And I think that's why stats can be skewed. You can use any stat to kind of, peddle a certain narrative, because I honestly don't feel like, we won the tackle count 42-36. That's still a low tackle number, given that last week we had 71.
Yeah.
So, Senior
know.
players let us down. They tried to correct. They put Langford back into the forward line in the third and fourth quarter. And to make things worse, I haven't wanted to mention it because it's hurting my insides terribly, but Archie May looks potentially to have done a MCL, so that's the most effed up thing that I've heard. So that hurts.
Blackiston's going down forward, gang. Look out. We're going to have Blackiston down forward now. I don't know. This one hurts. We're going to have to take this one in the guts and just move on to next week.
We don't have a choice.
We don't really have a choice, do we? We got Brisbane in 7 days, 6 days. We've got to reload and go again.
We do.
It's the fun of AFL football.
This kind of feels like, we had such a bad game against what the game was it before we played the Bulldogs? Was it the Port game? Yeah.
Yeah. It was
and everyone was like, oh, the odds were $1 or something, and everyone was like, we're going to lose by 3,000. And then we came out and played like that. So, a part of me is just like, this is just we're going to have bad losses, good fights. Some will pluck a win or two. But at the end of the day, we are a rebuilding club with not enough A-grade talent to compete when a very experienced side just use every ounce of their experience to show up on a very big stage.
And that wasn't show tonight, wasn't it?
Jesus, could they done it? Far out. Could they have done it in more impressive fashion? It was.
Well, we love the club. We'll all be back next week, and we'll be all cheering on next week too. So it's the grind of football, apparently. We're on a football cycle. We all love this club, and we'll be back next week.
You're right, we will. But we're going to talk about how much this freaking sucked first.
Well, we're going to take this one as it goes, move on to next week to Marvel, and we go again against Brisbane in 6 days.
Yeah, it's going to be painful. Yeah, Chris, sorry, you're right. It was North Melbourne. You're right. I'm forgetting a game. The North Melbourne loss was before the Bulldogs one.
I'll see you on the ratings show. Everyone have a good night.
Oh.
I'm going to go cry myself to sleep, and
Well, just hang out for therapy. See you, Buzz.
See you later.
Yeah, this is going to feel like therapy. It's going to be another hard week in the media too. And it's going to be another hard rating show as well. Oh, my God. Parish had 2 effective kicks, they said, after the game. That's horrific. What did Elijah Sardis finish with? Oh, Jesus, I have to go. I have to scroll. If I have to scroll far down to see his stats, 18 disposals, 3 clearances. Just not enough. Yeah, Lockie Blackerson had the most most clearances for us, 5 clearances. Interesting. Collingwood had 9 days off after no travel. We had 7 days off before the game after travelling to Queensland. It was, where is all the Caldwell bashing, had a far worse game than Parish, also hasn't played well all year. I thought he had a good game last week. The closest to old Caldwell was last week, but today you knew he was in for a bad day because that first kick into the centre of the ground, that first missed handball, in the centre of the ground. Horrific. Bruise-free football from us today, and no tackling was quite a treat. Yeah, again, the tackling, weird. Too many missed tackles, pretend chasing. Hello, Chris. I said a few weeks ago that I'm worried about Caddy's development. He just isn't putting out what any of the hype is. Same goes for Kako. Fair enough. I mean, we haven't really spoken about how good the defensive setup of the Pies are, and I was really worried about their intercept game. Jeremy Howe, what a guy that is. Like, he's slowing down, of course, as well, but the way he reads the ball, when he was on Langford, we kicked someone put the ball on the boot and blind kicked it into the forward 50. You couldn't even blink, and Howe was off. It wasn't even in his direction. They were in the pocket. Him and Langford were in the pocket. Howe read it so quickly, you blink. Now, that is either supersonic, like super crazy ability, or Langford's reflexes just aren't as good, or that he's just not as good of a player because, tell you what, very, very, very good at reading the play, their backline. I still think Caddy's always going to, our forwards all played behind the man today, goal side, and then we didn't kick it to their advantage. If they're going to do that, kick it to the advantage. DJ Sim. Parish kept fumbling, not clean. Isn't that supposed to be his role? Because it ain't running speed. Yeah, fair call. Hello, Richard. They panicked all day. Panic kicking, panic handballing, kicking across goal, and Collingwood denied the corridor. Kudos to Collingwood and Fly. Well, this is the thing. If you look at the metres gain that Pendlebury had, and this comes back to not getting beaten what you know, and I know that's so easy to say sitting behind a keyboard, but Pendlebury had 393 meters gain. That is nothing because he literally just plonks himself in the corridor and is the general through the corridor. And then he knows that the rest of them are going to push you wide and keep you wide and deny you that easy exit and then pressure you into making the turnover. And that is exactly what happened. And that is how they like to play their football. Sigh. Hello, Solution.
How are you?
Oh, I feel like shit. How are you?
Well, can I say congratulations, firstly?
Thank you.
Because a little birdie told me it's your first anniversary of the channel today. Is that correct?
You are correct, but I didn't really feel it was appropriate to celebrate it on Anzac Day, given the occasion. And now what we just put out, I don't feel like celebrating because I feel like shit.
Worst birthday present ever?
Worst. What a way to, celebrate.
Well, I want to say congratulations anyway. And
Thank you.
I'm sure everybody is grateful for what you've done in the last 12 months. Before I start, can I give a couple of go fuck yourselves? It's a new kind of award I've come up with. I don't have a podcast anymore. But my first go fuck. No. Did I cut out?
You did just slightly, but go again.
Oh, good. I'm back. I thought the AFL's onto me. My first go fuck yourself is to the AFL for basically getting rid of the father-son rule. Like that's what they've basically done. And the father-son, it hasn't been kind to Essendon. We had a Nagel, very good point, Jeremy. We've had a shitty Nagel. We had one Danaher who ultimately disappointed. We had a shit Danaher. We had a Watson who was obviously fantastic, but we didn't necessarily benefit from the father-son all that much. But nobody wanted to see Gary Ablett Jr. go anywhere other than Geelong. And I think it's a disgrace that they've conflated. We need to get rid of it because we need to get rid of the point system because the point system favours academy teams too much or whatever. Father-son lasted way before the point system, way before the academy system. And I just think it's yet another sort of tearing down of the fabric of the game by getting rid of the father and son rule. So it's AFL can go fuck themselves. My second go fuck yourself is to the TV coverage. And I don't know whether producers were on the source. I don't know whether the cameramen were on the source. I don't know if everybody was on the source, but
I would have liked to be on the source into the second half of this day. But yeah, go on.
I'm on the way. I've got a vino here. But it was like watching football in 1985. That's how bad it was. Except we didn't have Terry Danaher and Tim Watson, and we weren't a premiership team. The coverage was appalling. So that's my second go fuck yourself.
Okay.
But as to the game, I think in recent weeks we've taken a few steps forward. This did feel like 15 steps backward. It really was appalling. I think the turning point, not that we wouldn't have lost anyway, but Darcy Parish handballing to a flat-footed Blackiston. I don't know why our obsession with handballing to Blackiston today, I don't know where that came from. Satan, potentially. But that, like Darcy Parish, if you watch the centre bounce, if we don't win the ball, the last guy in the chase is Darcy Parish. Like his defence is appalling. Let's be honest. But you can carry one or two of those players if they're really good going the other way. And he's been great the last couple of weeks. I'm not going to rewrite immediate history, but I reckon that was a turnover, literally a turnover, and that was a turning point where they just got the momentum and the way we ended the game, and the way like Ben Mackay. Can we talk about him? The issue I have with Mackay is the difference between his best and worst is really, really stark. I mean, I think it was the poet, was it Long Beach or Longhorn or something like that, that had the poem of the little girl? Do you know this poem? There once was a
No.
little girl who had a little curl right in the middle of her forehead. When she was good, she was very, very good. And when she was bad, she was fucking appalling. Well,
Yeah.
that's Ben Mackay. His worst is really, really bad. And because he's such a big physical presence, it just makes it look terrible. And I'm happy for the 1 or 2 turnovers per game. Like we didn't get him for his Dustin Fletcher style ability to kick a guy 50, 60 metres away and hit them on a chest. But his worst is just so bad. And he looked like he was on the mushrooms today. Like the way he was kind of zoning out of the contest.
I mean,
Am I
yeah,
being
his
harsh?
body language, the body language gets poor, but I could get behind him in the first half, aside from the turnover, the direct turnover that led to the Schultz goal. I could get behind him because in terms of what his role is, he's not there to be our first fiddle fullback defender. That is the bigger picture is Zach Reid. Zach Reid needs to be the Harris Andrews. Ben Mackay's role is to be the Darcy Gardner, the backup to him. And so if your role is to keep your opponent goalless, I could get behind you. And if you're making a few stuff ups in between, I can sort of get behind you. But to let Dan McStay have 5 scoring shots when Dan McStay has been in shocking form, I lose any ability to defend the player. So he had a bad day. It wasn't alone, but he had a bad day. And look, granted, we left the back line all out to sea by the lack of midfield accountability. Complete lack. And as you mentioned, in the chase, who is last in the chase? It's Essendon players. There is not one player defensive side of the transition and the wave of gut running that Collingwood get when they win the ball.
Yeah, so like we have the old podcast group chat, and shout out to Joe, who I'm sure is going to jump on later. He always brings great analysis. He was saying Blackiston didn't look right. Maybe had it look like he was favouring or disfavouring one of his hands, like he wasn't prepared to pick up the ball. I don't know if that's the case or not. But
he did a good job on memory.
Yeah, but the rucking situation is dire, and like Peter Wright's been really good, and at times he was okay today, but we were so exposed in the ruck as well. So you put down our lack of chase in the midfield, you couple that with the ruck situation, and I can see another 100-point thumping, 80-point thumping next week against a rampant Brisbane and fucking Scott Draper.
Oh yeah, what about that guy?
I wish we could put the breakers on him. The combine harvester, as I used to call him, now he's Judas Mark II. I think he's going to have a field day. I think Brisbane will have a field day next week, and then you have to wonder: was this a false dawn the last couple of weeks? I mean, a great victory against Melbourne was mainly on heart, or a large part of it on heart, and our young players. By the way, shout out to Sadia Hooley today. Shout out to Roberts, another fantastic game. I mean, I think the football world knows who he is now. Shout out to Archaday Wicks and 1 or 2 others. But
with Roberts, that's what shits me a little bit when we try to be sold the whole, they're trying as hard as they can. There's effort there. It's just skills. That's what I can't cop because it looks so different. Archie Roberts is playing one way in one gear, and it stands out so much because the rest of them are in a completely different gear. Outside of Kako, I thought who was probably in the same gear, but Quaynor is a very good defender, so kind of played a good role on him. at times. He didn't really go up the ground. But anyway, I digress. That's why I can't cop the whole, it's just some skill errors. And if we tighten that up, they look better. Because Roberts was at fifth gear for the entire game and it stood out.
Yeah. I think it's above the shoulders, isn't it? That's the difference with him. Like, for all the talent that he has, I just wish that we could transplant that brain of his and that heart into some of those more experienced players. But yeah, it feels like multiple steps backward today, and to think what we might be faced with next week, it could be really, really, really ugly.
Do you think, like, what percentage of it was the effort and the players versus the system and the structure?
Well, it was 90% the fumbles. Like, what the fuck? What is going on with our fumbling?
Yeah,
it was just like appalling, and like good players, great players, well, supposedly, like our best players, highly paid players. Like fumbling the ball. I don't understand. And, for the young players, I get it. Not many of them have played, in front of that sort of crowd. But to see the fumbles and the errors and the mistakes, it's just debilitating. And it just halts any momentum that we have. It's all, and Collingwood should have won by more. Like, they wasted so many chances. So, like, I don't know where to from here, Fiona. I really don't.
Is this just a matter, or is this just a matter of we have to accept this is what rebuilding is like, and it looks unfamiliar and it feels like this because we've never done it before? Is that fair, or is that reaching?
No, it's fair, but we have one issue, which is 5 years ago, 3 years ago, rebuilding meant more highly touted draft picks, meant more highly credentialed draft picks, and you go back in the draft and you try and get the next Farrow, you try and get the next Roby, etc., etc. Now with Tasmania coming in, I don't know, I'm worried about losing Caddy, I'm worried about losing Kako, I'm worried about losing Roberts, and I'm worried that, we won't even get our fucking father-son that we've been waiting on for so many years. So, yeah, like, I don't know. I just think, where to from here?
Yeah, I mean, it's a nice reality check, as I said earlier. We got the dopamine hit, and today we got crashed back down to reality. But this is how it must have felt for Tiger supporters. Granted, a very different journey in the last 10 years to us, but this is how it must have felt, because 3 weeks ago, everyone was heralding Richmond for being close in games, competitive. David King calls them the Ferraris. Everyone was saying how good it is. Yesterday, after last week, the rhetoric is they are horrific. They will not win a game this year. Their number one draft pick is theirs. But now after today, we're back to thinking that. Like, I don't know. Now I feel irrationally, I don't think we'll win another game. So, like, which is it? I don't know. I don't know if this is just part of the rebuilding roller coaster.
I think it might be, but either way, there's no way we're competing with the top teams. And, I mean, we just have to stay the course. We have to play as many kids as...
So does that mean Gold Coast are not a top team? I know we didn't win that game, but we competed really well and only lost by 9 points. Does that mean they're not a top team?
Look, it's a good question.
Chat?
I don't
answer that question to you too, because that wasn't a fluky. Oh, they let us off the hook, or that was a very good comprehensive fight.
It was. I think we need to solve the ruck problem really quickly. I think we need to.
People have said that, actually. So shout out, I can't remember who exactly, but a few people are a bit worried about their ruck situation. But again, 2 weeks ago, Peter Wright absolutely towed up Max Gawn, who is the best ruckman in the league.
Yep.
and has been for a little while.
But I'll win his second ruck. And I think Blackstone was exposed today. He deserves probably another crack at it. But another combined ruck performance like we saw today. And did I see Brian was injured as well, or was left out of the VFL?
He was left out in the VFL, and he had an injured. He was listed as injured on the outs. However, then the club came out and said that he's just battling some general soreness. Now, he trained fully on Wednesday, and so I assumed if he got an injury, it would have been sometime during the game, or sometimes during training, or afterwards. But the mixed messaging has got me a little bit confused and maybe a little bit concerned. So TBC on him.
Yeah, okay. Should Caldwell be dropped?
No. My gut said no, because I think Parrish was as bad. Durham, although he had some good moments, I think he's well below his best. I thought Merritt was not good at all. Since when is Merritt like hospital handballing to flat-footed players? It was just pass on the pressure to the next player. Pass on.
Yeah. There was a lot of that today. Yep.
Yeah.
Good
question, Chris. Well, in terms of for who should, so actually I'll ask you the question. Do you think Caldwell should be dropped?
I don't know. You can carry Caldwell, Parrish together on a big ground anyway, like at the MCG.
And Sharp.
In current, and Sharp, yeah, in sort of current form.
Yep. But again, last week everyone was like, oh, Sardis, Parrish, Caldwell, that midfield is getting it done. So I just don't understand how there can be such a whiplash and such a gap, as you say, between, well, you said it with Ben Mackay, but it seems like the midfield, there is such a gap between the best and worst as well. And yeah, I don't know. It just feels.
Sorry to interrupt.
You're right.
I think we need to simplify things. So the extra handball or two in the middle is killing us under pressure. It doesn't hold up. Let's simplify things. Let's continue to play the kids, and let's hope that this is, part of the up and down of a young rebuilding team. But we're going to start to a few more thrashings like this in a row, and the jungle drums are going to start beating again, unfortunately. So, yeah. But
what did you think? Sorry.
I was going to say, the Strait of Hormuz is closed. We're about to go into a global recession. There's no fertilizer. Fuel's about to run out. Helium's about to run out. So no more smartphones. The world's fucked.
Way to kick a group of people while they're down.
That's right. This is what I mean. It's like,
sucks. Is this going to all be for nothing? Are we all just going to just be dust? Like what?
There could be nuclear war in the Middle East. I mean, the world's in fucking trouble. But I tell you what, it doesn't compare to the darkness of today, to be honest.
I know this is what it feels like. Like, oh my God, I don't know. Maybe I refuse to say or believe for myself anyway. I don't speak for all of you. Chat, you tell me what you think. But I don't feel like I got ahead of myself, because I still was daily reminding myself that we are rebuilding. I think I said in the preview that I think we're still going to have some bad losses. So I almost I prepared myself as best I could, and yet this just feels like utter shit. It feels horrible.
Yep, worst birthday present in the world.
Yeah, it really. And yes, you're welcome to anybody and everybody. I'm sorry, it's not. Solution just told us that yes, as you say, Moby, we're all going to die soon, essentially, and it kind of feels like that right now. But maybe we'll pep up by the end of it. Maybe Noel joins us at the end and just enjoy and just raises the mood. Who knows? Or we end up down some tangent. And we forget about Essendon for a little bit, because you know what? There's a chance next week we play Brisbane like we played them last year. Anybody remember that game? That was my favourite loss last year. And I know that sounds weird to say because you don't enjoy any losses, but that game was so good. I know it was at the Gabba, but we took it up to them and almost beat them. And a lot of the players said that was one of their favourite games because they felt like they were competing at such a high level against the premiers. So who knows? It's foreseeable. This is the thing. And if I can give any bit of wisdom solution to you and the rest, it's that it's going to be like this.
It's
one
drink.
week
Was that the wisdom? Drink.
That, and also 1 week we're going to be sitting here and we're going to be saying this is horrific and let me off this bus. I do not want to be a football follower for this club anyway. And the next week, the kids are going to have out-of-body games and our seniors are going to have a good game. And we're just going to be on this roller coaster. And it feels it's not a fun one. Like I hope it's going to pass at some point. I just don't know if it will. I think it will. We're rebuilding, so we're trying. But the fact the matter is we don't have enough A-grade talent. And right now we're just floundering with as best as we can because we can't do anything about it. It's not like we have A-grade talent sitting on the sidelines, right? Shout out Nick Martin. Outside of him, it's not like we need to collect and trade and draft A-grade talent.
We don't even have B+ talent.
Yeah.
B-, C+. We got a lot of Ds running around, unfortunately. The positive is the kids do look good, so that's all we can sort of hang our hat on. You know what today reminded me of? It reminded me of the 1990 grand final. You know why? 1990, for those old enough to remember, we lost to Collingwood. It was a very, very dark, dark day. But Derek Hickett took mark of the day. And he probably got goal of the day as well. And I reckon we had the mark of the day and the goal of the day today.
Wicker?
Yep. And maybe Kako's goal or maybe even Caddy's goal for goal of the day. So how's that for straw clutching at its best?
I don't like that from you. I'm not going to lie. That doesn't make me feel any better, and they don't deserve it right now. I mean, Wicker probably does because he had an acceptable game, but Caddy was well beaten, but that's to be expected in a way. So he still had 3 goals, but Grant, I think you're right. I think a couple of the kids, mentioning Roby, I thought he looked well off it for mine. I thought that last week, but understood that today was about exposure more than experience and more short term, more long term rather than short term. Get this stage, get these kids exposure to this stage faster to fast track some of their experience. But Roby and Sharp both looked quite off it. Even Farrow was, he was composed when he had his moments, but even he too looked a bit panicked at times. So, a long way to go. How many more wines have you got on for the night?
Well, I think I'm nearly run out. So, the question is, do I go to the top of the cabinet and start hitting the fortified wine? So I've got some limoncello. I can pretend I'm in the Amalfi Coast and drink that.
Yeah, hell yeah. Get that out. 100%. It was in positives, it was a beautiful day at the MCG for football. It was glorious, picture perfect. And actually, no, that makes me madder. See, I just made myself mad all in the one sentence. That makes me madder because the conditions were perfection. Why are we fumbling? Why does it look like it's a wet game? Why are we fumbling so much? Anyway. Spiros, just in response to your kick it, one of your favourite Essendon footballers, best kick of football.
100%. There was a game, I'm sure it's on YouTube, where he kicked two goals in a row at VFL Park, 55 metres out, and I'm sure one was a torp. And I think apart from Peter Dacos, Derek Kickett and Peter Dacos were probably the 2 best exponents of the torp on the run that you'll ever see. He was an amazing player.
Oh, it's all in the past. All in the past, isn't it? Before you go, there you go. Nice little pump up for you, all right?
Thank you, SJ2150. What I like about this is I can just come on, I can get my fix here. talk a little bit
No
of
work
shit,
to
and I
do.
don't have to do zero work.
Well, you're welcome, I think, is the response to that. But thank you. Thank you for joining us. Hope that was a little bit therapeutic for you. I still
It
feel like
was.
shit, but we'll see how long it takes.
Just on the way out, two things. Number one, we're all going to die. And number two, again, happy anniversary. And notwithstanding today was a very bad day, you're doing fantastic things on the channel. And I'm sure it's only a year old. It's already amazing. So it's only going to go from strength to strength. So congratulations again and happy birthday.
Thank you so much, Solution. Always a pleasure talking to you. Enjoy your night.
Peace out.
Bye. Chris, thank you so much for the 5 and was not expecting this today. So disappointing with this result after the last 2 weeks. I'm sick to death of losing to Collingwood on Anzac Day. Oh, well said. Well said. They own us. They own us on this day. That luck has got to change. Isn't that just the law of, isn't just that the law? Because that's got to change. Adam, thank you for the 5. Make yourself some chocolate, Fiona. It's always a mood enhancer. Well, not going to lie, I have a Twix bar sitting next to me, opened, that I gobbled straight as I flung through the door, and just to give me some energy and emotional eating. It's the emotional eating that had started already. But thank you. Appreciate it. Chris with another 5. Thank you. Forget about drafting A-grade talent. We need to develop the talent. That's our biggest issue. And until that's fixed, nothing will change. I think we can absolutely beef up our development, and they've listened, and the quantity of development coaches we have is the most in the league. So tick, but I'm not sure that the quality of these development coaches is where it should be in order for us to get to the heights that we want to get to. So work to do in the off season, but just like it's hard to attract. Actually, question for you guys. Do you think it's hard to attract really good coaches just as hard as it is to attract players to want to come and play for your club? So we've been bad for over 2 decades. Would development coaches not want to come, like good development coaches with, premiership experience, finals experience? Would they want to go elsewhere before they came to Essendon, just like free agents would? Or is it a little bit easier? G-Pad, thank you. Thank you for the birthday gift. I'll buy myself a nice coffee during the week to celebrate, but thank you. Hello, Corey.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. Holy shit, we're garbage again.
Very good. Very good. Why do I feel like I'm having deja vu? I was only having this conversation with you 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago. How Literally. Are we back here?
We are back here with players being played in the wrong position, a la Sam Durham, with Elijah Sardis getting his midfield time since Elijah Sardis has been in the team. I'll be honest, Jackson Pryor didn't do a hell of a lot to warrant his spot for the next week. I'm sorry. His game today was very, very poor, in my honest opinion. Just our disposal by hand and foot just went back to our old ways, and seemed like the ball was wrapped in butter all day.
How is that excusable? It was a perfect day.
It's not an excuse at all. It's disgusting. It's disgraceful. I can't believe how bad some of the players that were in this side were delivering the ball or trying to pick up the ball, even with no pressure. Just, yeah, I've seen my 8-year-old nephew in his local footy games have more time and space than some of the players today. It was it wasn't great.
All right, talk to me about the thing you mentioned before, this Sam Durham conundrum that we have, right? So he was touted for an enormous year. Enormous. I saw him in some Brownlow ratings, obviously not top 10 or anything, but some Brownlow kind of discussions. We're obviously not getting the most out of him, but because he's not attending as many centre bounces. What are we doing with him? Are we getting Elijah Sardis in the team and getting him centre bounce attendances at the expense of Sam Durham's development or input? And is that the right way to go? Or are we, because what are we doing?
I totally agree with what you just said. We're giving Elijah Sardis the chance because he needs to be given the chance to show what he can do. But obviously he has a day like today where he's not sighted and you couldn't find him if he was on the moon. Where Durham was playing at half forward for the entire time, and where was Elijah Sardis playing last year when he was in the team? Half forward. Where was Ben Hobbs playing in the team last year when he could have played midfield? Half forward. It almost seems like the get out jail free card for players that just aren't getting the opportunity where they should be playing in their rightful position. But we do have the depth in that role, but we put him in the side or in the midfield when we're 45 points down. And that comes to a coaching decision. That's not a player's decision. The coaches stuffed that up by not putting him in a hell of a lot earlier. It might not have changed the result, but I would have rather seen him put his head over it. If he gave away a silly free kick, big deal. Because the midfield got absolutely dog walked today by a fifth gamer and Angus Anderson. Pat Lipinski bloody got onto the end of heaps. I'm sorry, Billy Frampton actually played a half decent game, and I think he's absolutely terrible. I know Nate Caddy still did well and he kicked 3 goals, but kudos to the lad. But there was players that looked like prime Travis Cloakey out there and prime Scott Pendlebury in his prime, just doing what he did today.
Yeah, I don't know if because eventually Durham is going to get lost to this system, but then if we take Sardis out of there and give him less centre bounces, we're diluting his input as well because he cannot rest forward. So
no,
we either make
can't kick.
Yeah. So I don't know where we're at. We're at a crossroads with this decision, and the same is going to be happening with Dyson Sharp. He is going to be resting up forward, and the idea today was, I assumed he wasn't getting many centre bounce attendances, so I assumed that most of his day was going to be up forward.
Yep.
But it just meant that we had no this could be more Collingwood, but it felt like all the ground balls, all the hard balls, Collingwood won, and I felt like not that Gresham would have made a mountain of difference, but I just thought like just that ground level, presence was lacking. Yeah,
I 100% agree with that, and I can't stand Gresham as far as I can throw him, and we definitely needed him today. It shows, even though it was pretty stiff to miss out, that we do need 2 genuine small forwards in the team most weeks, regardless of height, size, matchups. We need to have a good balance of talls and smalls, where today we seem too tall. Langford was thrown around like a cheap suit and just put in every position known to man. He needs to find a stable spot in this side, just a specific role. It was just poorly coached. We lost it at selection, but then also lost it after half time by playing as bad as we did.
Yeah. What would you have done at selection?
I would have kept Gresham in, but I would have rotated Sardis and Durham, even though Sardis isn't a good kick for goal anyway. I would have rotated them and tried to do a 50-50 split on how much centre bounce attendances Sardis did take, split what Sardis took today to see what Durham could have done, even if it was for 5-6 minutes, and then put him back out the half forward or put him on the pine just to give him a rest and then get him back out there to change it up. If there's any positives I can take out of today, Archie Dawick's first half, really, really good. Can't fault his game. I thought Sardo Hawley wasn't too bad. He had 23 touches. I thought he actually played not bad. He did a reasonable job on Jamie Elliott in the first half, kept him to 1 goal. He sort of got away from him in the end, but I thought he did all right. And Nate Caddy's work ethic for a small forward, and he's just his attitude, and you can see how frustrated he was because we're getting our absolute asses kicked. That he was just trying and trying and trying. And we just couldn't do a damn thing. And I just wish people had the heart and the passion and the drive that Roberts and Caddy do have, and Kako that they have, because we'd be a hell of a lot better footy team if we were.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I think the senior players did a lot of the letting down today, unfortunately. So based on that, what changes would you make next week?
Next week will have to be, in not being harsh on the lad, I think Sullivan Roby, regardless of the time that he had up forward, I think maybe going back to the twos might do him a world of good. Yep. Bring Jay Gresham in. bring Jaden Ewan in, but I'm also dropping someone that I probably don't want to drop. I don't want to drop, and that's Xavier Dersma. I don't think he has been playing as well as he should have, and as he could be. And just I think he needs to just go back into the twos and just get touch and get confidence again.
Big call. Big call from you, Corey, dropping Durs. We are very loose and very short on our wing quality.
I know we're very short in our wing quality, but even if I couldn't even care if Jaden Ewan went on the wing because he's actually got a bit of defensive nous and a bit of defensive pressure. I don't know if he could run the game out, but it wouldn't be a bad shit. Wouldn't be mad to try something because we didn't really do much of changing things apart from at one stage I actually saw Zach Reid on the wing in one stoppage. I couldn't believe that.
I think actually we haven't spoken about Zach Reid chat as well, but also Corey. I thought it was an okay day from him. I won't say good, but I thought it was an okay day from him in terms of his positioning and his intercept. Actually, while you answer that question, I'm going to look how many intercepts he had.
He had a pretty good game. It was in patches, like you said. He had his moments where he stuffed up and kicked it in the man on the mark or handballed it really poor. But then also took good intercept pack marks and had good one-on-one battles with McStay and Membry. And yeah, like you said, it was all in moments, but there was plenty of others that I could have said, and I could absolutely tear the shit off Parrish, but I think every man in the dog knows how bad he played in the second half because Brad Scott lined him up from the coach's box after 3
Who's
quarters.
that?
Brad Scott lined Parrish up from the body coach. Just his body language from what I saw from the camera view, he had a real crack at the mids because we lost the clearances 7-2, and pretty much was pointing at him, telling him work hard because his turnover. There'll be turnover vision on first crack or the media that'll be on socials, everyone will see it somehow by the end of the weekend, of Darcy Parrish's work rate when the ball's turned over. Because he's the perfect one-way runner. He'll run forward as fast as you want and get on a handball chain or a kick chain. But as soon as he turns it over and he's the direct turnover, my 2-year-old niece could run faster than he could on turnover. It's that slow. It's just, if we had a better team like a Geelong or a Brisbane or a team that's actually going to be competitive, far out, he wouldn't be getting a game in that side. He'd be dropped straight away.
Yeah, shit. Yep. I think you're right, Corey. I think he had the 3 intercepts, Zach Reid, so not great, but not poor. So Archie Roberts had a really great game. I just want to highlight that again. 7 intercepts and 5 contested possession, 29 obviously uncontested, but I thought just another shout out for Archie. He was by far our best player and should sleep very well tonight. Unfortunate that many more didn't come along with him. Thank you, Corey.
100%. Thank you. Cheers.
Catch ya. Bye. Oh boy. Painful. Moby, thank you. Happy anniversary. May there be many more. Thank you. Big love. Big love. Means a lot. And thank you for being here on day 1. You're an OG. Chris, thank you for the 20. Your comment, attracting coaches. It's very hard for us. Brad Scott was last on our preferred list. Look at who we have lost. Carousella, GR, even our CEO was not who we wanted. We asked Travis Old and Justin Rodsky. Well, interesting. We have lost some. Yeah. I know with the CEO, the 2 you mentioned there was reasonable explanation for them, and I don't think it was where Essendon sat. But take your point, Chris. Hello, Matthew. Got absolutely demolished out of the guts tonight. Yeah. Oh, God, it was so uncomfortable to watch. It was uncomfortable to watch. Thank you, Sean. Congratulations on 1 year for the channel. You've built a unique community. Thank you. I'm glad you feel that way. That is the point. So the fact that you do feel that way, I hope you all feel that way. Means a lot. Thank you. You're right. Roby had a very limited preseason. But the point is, I think just exposure to AFL level, then go back to the VFL, a bit like with Kondo, gave him a couple of games with Huss, gave him a couple of games, see what it's about, know the level, know the speed, go back to the VFL and dominate there. But it's also then people are yelling, bring in the kids. Just play the kids because the more experienced players aren't up to it. So it's we ask for things and then we get angry when they get delivered. So we're all irrational and that's okay. We're allowed to be a little bit irrational. Thank you, Anthony. Happy birthday, Fiona and Bomber Banter. Thank you. Appreciate you. You are also an OG, so I have thoroughly enjoyed all your contributions. Isaac, thank you for the $8. Read the fumbles. Collingwood were kicking around the ground at 1:30 for ages. Bombers came out for a kick at 2:30 for a bit. What are these numbers? Kicking around the ground. What's 1:30? Is that I'm trying to work out? Is that is that the time? Oh, I see. Collingwood came out at 1:30 p.m. onto the MCG, and the Bombers came out for a kick at 2:30 p.m. for a bit. Okay. Sorry. Thank you, chat. Sorry, that just went over my head. Now I'm on track. Thank you. Okay, so we think that they could have... Somebody actually texted me and said that they were a bit lackluster in the warm-up. Is that true? I was at the ground but catching up with friends, so I didn't pay much attention to the warm-up. Thank you. Have my back, chat. Thank you. Let's talk to Chris. Hello, Chris.
Hi.
Feels...
I was a believer, remember?
I remember. Just as soon as last week. As early as last week, you were a believer.
It was the Melbourne game. The Melbourne game, like I said, if we play like that, we can give good teams a run for their money. We probably could beat Collingwood. And I said last week we will beat them. It's a typical Essendon thing, you know. They just give our get our hopes up high and then 10 steps back.
Feels like it.
It's like like just Roberts and like other people said Sardale Hooley were really our two kind of like standout players for me. I don't know about everyone else. And just everyone was not like Merritt had no impact, and they still praise Merritt in the media, like, you know.
Yeah, I think that's unfair because
he's
our only A grader, and I know he can't do it by himself. But did Perryman ever go to anybody who was watching at home? Did Perryman ever actually even go to Zach Merritt? Obviously not Darcy Parish because he wasn't having a great game, but like, were they ever worried about any of our players? It didn't feel like it at all.
No,
even Archie Roberts, they
might,
look like
all the panic, fumbling, you know, skills, errors, you know, it was like, you know, last week we were like, you know, we could have beaten the Suns up in Gold Coast, and today was like we were worse than Saturday, like in our Hawthorn game or Port Adelaide game. And Collingwood, they're not. Everyone says like they're a slow team. You know, they made us look slow. They sort of got their mojo back. You know, they were pretty much on fire. Like from probably second half of the second quarter. Do you reckon?
Yep.
And then they put the pedal to the metal in the third, and it was just no chance for us to, you know, come back, you know. At one stage, I thought, like, we weren't even going to reach 50 points. That's how bad it was.
Yep. And, of course, then we let them score freely as well. So, you know, they did all the, and goes without saying, they did all the small things just well, and we didn't.
Yeah.
We didn't. Oh God, it's painful. It's painful.
Yeah, back to how we sort of like play in the back line, like, you know, panicking and just doing bad errors, you know.
Yep.
And yeah, like I said to you last few times I was on, I like how the forward line is, you know, with the May, Caddy and Edwards.
Yep.
And when I saw Edwards play in the back today, I was like, why is he there, you know?
And Muzz, if you're still here, Muzz, you said it perfectly with that. We had rhythm. We had a rhythm for 10 quarters.
Yeah.
We had rhythm in the forward line. It was the most functional forward line I feel like I've seen for 10 years. Maybe that's exaggeration, but you know what I mean. And I don't get it.
I think
I don't get it.
I think that's what I was trying to get across what Muzz said, you know, rhythm. You know, we had that like happening, and yeah, when he put Edwards in the back, I was like, really? What's he doing back there?
On the wing, yeah. He floated back, just playing that wing role. But bizarre.
Yeah. Do you reckon
like even with that move, put Jackson Pryor on the wing. At least he trained there. I know. Don't yell at me. Don't yell at me, chat. I know we hate him there. I acknowledge, but it's better than Edwards on the wing, in my humble opinion.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you reckon Langford is good in the back, or we just saw a few games of it and we think that's his best position?
I got seduced. What can I say? I got seduced with him in the back line last week. I thought he was fantastic. Actually, no, I take that back. The stats kind of backed me up on that. Just a shocking game from him. I thought he could play the Ridley role. Not as good as Ridley, because you can't replace Ridley, but yeah.
Yeah. Do you reckon? Yeah, I don't think if we had Ridley in, it would have made much of a difference. Do you reckon?
There was one point I reckon it was the start of the second quarter, he came into my head and I thought we're hot potatoing this football and we're just making it somebody else's problem. And all I wanted for 5 minutes, I think, because I said to you guys, I felt exhausted. It was exhausting, the turnovers, the errors, the make it somebody else's problem, handball chain, over handballing. And for 1 minute, I thought, I just need Ridley here to calm the quantum field here, just calm the energy. Everybody was just manic in our back line. And I thought to myself, I need Ridley. But maybe he would have done it for a moment. I don't know if it would have been 77 points better, but maybe
there was like a few moments where, like, you know, two players trying to get to the ball, but they didn't.
Yep. Oh. And, you know, getting sucked up to the contest, getting sucked up to the ball carrier. Easy pickings. Collingwood just sit out. Then they knew we were going to do that, and they just sat very, very patiently and calmly outside the contest. We didn't win the stoppage, and they just got easy ball at the back. And that's just typical of what we do when we panic. Yeah. Unfortunately.
Yeah. I mean, next week we got Brisbane. How many players they've got that are, you know, like Logan Morris, Charlie Cameron, Cam Rayner, Kyle Oman.
Sam Draper is just going to have a field day. Solution was right. He's just going to.
I don't know if Zorko's playing, because I think he had a hamstring or something. But again,
they've just got the next man up mentality. Their system is so good. They're a bit like Hawthorn.
I don't think it will make much of a difference, you know. But who knows? Probably they'll surprise us and win this game. Win the game.
Wouldn't it be funny if we lost by like 4 points? If we lost 4 points next week, and you know what? I think it's just going to be part of this season. But it is what it is, I guess. All right, Chris.
Yeah. I mean, Matthew Lloyd's going to pretty much tear us apart this week in the media.
Yeah, it's not going to be pretty. coming from Matthew Lloyd. Yeah, it's going to be ruthless. And you know what?
Yeah.
To be fair, we deserve it. We
Yeah.
deserve to be kicked, and metaphorically,
Yeah.
because we were very poor, very poor. The competitive
Yeah.
edge, the competitive fire wasn't there like it was last
Yeah.
week. So
Yeah. Only two
Thank you.
good moments
Yep.
to end off. Only two good moments was Caddy's goal and
Beautiful. Yep.
Kako's goal by foot. And
Yep.
yeah, the rest of the game
And
was nut.
Archie Wicks's mark. Archie Wicks's mark
Yeah.
too was sitting right. It was right. He was facing us where I was kind of sitting when he took that mark, and it was very exciting. The crowd got up and about. So thank you, Chris. End on a
Okay.
high. Thank you.
Okay.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye. You know what else I was thinking, chat, as well? And this is obviously, I'm not saying this is why we lost, but how did you find the energy of the crowd today and the energy of the players in kind of response to that? Because I thought after the Caddy goal, I don't know, I saw him trying to get energized and trying to just, tap into some of that spirit that they had in the Gold Coast game, in the Melbourne game, when they're just like buzzing. And I don't feel like the players were on the same wavelength as him. He was trying to get the momentum rolling. And then I thought it was a good opportunity for the crowd to then get involved and for the cheer squad to start up a chant or to start up a clap, the clapping, the stamping, the noise at that centre bounce. And then we inevitably lost that centre bounce, I'm pretty sure. But I remember kind of just clapping and thinking, oh, I wanted to get excited because it felt like a buzz watching Caddy on the screen in the replay, and then just went, and I thought, okay, that's interesting. And that was the second quarter, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. All right, let's talk to Angry Low. Are you there?
Oh, hi, sorry.
That's okay.
Didn't realize that. You were just like, quick.
How are you? Oh, yeah.
Beyond annoyed.
Feels. Talk to me.
Look. You struggle to have words. You know when the group of people around you at the game, because I was at the game this afternoon. Pre-match was literally the best part about it. I'm saying that as someone like first Anzac Day match for me, right? So fantastic experience in that sense. The 2-day Wicks grabs, I loved it. It was great. We're up and about, happy days, right? So the first half, not like horrendous, but like to see that second half, what the fuck was going on?
It's a good question. What do you think happened?
Was there defensive pressure? Because every time you see Collingwood, they're just kick, easy as you like. And we're just going back to this handball game that's like against Hawthorn, Port Adelaide, North Melbourne. It doesn't work. And it's like the people around us like, kick the fucking ball, kick the ball, and you get nothing.
Yeah. The ratio was back up to 191 kicks, 174 handballs. That is way too many handballs.
Well, yeah,
for a team that's no good at skills.
And also, right, you when you're watching from above, you can see the free players. And there were so many times where you look in the middle of the field and you're like, there's a player there, kick to him, and that long down the line, playing into Collingwood's hands exactly how they would like. Because
you actually nailed that. That was our forward, our inside 50. There were players who were spreading really hard, and I think actually credit to Roby, who on a couple of occasions spread really hard from the half back line. And of course, we're coming up the wing because Collingwood are forced ups, wide. And that last kick, the instinct is just bomb it long. Roby is free. Kako was free, kind of in the corridor, and we didn't even look there.
Yeah, that was one of my biggest annoyances when like just watching, because you see it and you're just like, come on, guys! Like there's the guys right there, and all of a sudden, and that's the thing, you make that kick, you're able to open it up a bit, right? Because you're not all of a sudden playing into Collingwood's hands. You don't have to bomb it into 50, which annoyingly is what we were seeing again. And yeah, just everything. And look, you can say what you will about the decisions, and like a lot of them, garbage. But I mean, look, you lost by 77 points. Like losing 77 points on Anzac Day, mind you. That's abysmal.
The biggest margin, the biggest ever losing margin is the embarrassing part.
And the other thing, Collingwood haven't kicked 100 points in a game since, like, what, 17 games ago?
17 games, yep.
And they
Again,
kicked
embarrassing.
137. Like, what the fuck? What are we doing?
So how did you feel after last week? Or let me ask you, how did you feel after the last 10 quarters of football we've played?
Doggy's game was like, okay, there's something. We need to see it the next week. We did see it the next week, thankfully. Got the win. So, was happy. Yeah, it's a 45-point win. Beautiful. Last week, oh, God, losing like that was like, little sad, but that's all right. It was a great performance, especially up there where it's hot. Gold Coast usually smash teams up there, so a great performance last week. And then you're going into this game, and it's like everyone says, all of a sudden you've got hope and belief. Like, wow, maybe, right? And then it just crashes right down. So just after this game, you're just like, why? Yeah, look, I understand the young kids are not going to have the level of consistency that, say, you have the experienced team that Collingwood has. They've got all the experience. They know what they're doing. They're going to do it week in, week out. And again, I understand the kids aren't probably going to do that as much, but you saw Pendlebury, Sidebottom, DeGoey, all those guys have magnificent games. And where's Essendon's players that you would say, yes, they need to step up? Merritt, Parrish. I mean, even Wright to an extent as well, although I thought he was actually okay-ish. So, but and the loss of Ridley. What is that? Like, that's rough.
Yeah, we didn't start the week well with the news that he wasn't going to play. That deflated me. I don't know about all of you, but that deflated me.
Yeah, it sucked because it's like, he's out for 3 to 4 weeks. Great, can't wait. What happened with May? Because I saw on the thing, he was just like, there was someone with ice on his knee. I'm like, who's that? And I sort of figured out it was May because Langford went in the forward line and he's like, I'll kick 2 goals, which was funny.
Well, he didn't have a fun day at all, Archie May. First, he was not having very good delivery of the ball, but then he got a smash to the face in the Archer Day Wicks mark. So he had a bit of blood, and then he's apparently done an MCL. Apparently, I mean, I assume he'll go for scans tomorrow. And please not be serious. Maybe they've read the room wrong, and it's not at all that. But yeah, it doesn't look like. Just when he was getting some momentum and we had some rhythm,
because he's a good contested grab too.
Very good. Very good.
Which
we just didn't deliver it to him today. Well at all. At all. And granted, he played behind a lot. He was behind Frampton a lot today. But we did not deliver it to him at all. No, don't tell me that, Luke. Sorry, I'm just reading the chat. He said May is done for 6 to 8. I don't think that's confirmed, but you kind of just know, don't you? Maybe if we prepare for 6 to 8 and it's better.
Does that mean 6 to 8 weeks or months?
Yeah. Oh God! If that's 6 to 8 months, no.
I'm
6 to
assuming
8
it's
weeks.
weeks. I'm assuming it's weeks.
For a second there, my heart just dropped. Oh my God, my heart just dropped when you said months. No, PCL, because an ACL is
ACL's 12 months,
12
right?
months.
Yeah.
Wait. No,
But
no.
usually an MCL was like weeks in that weeks category, right?
Yeah, okay. Let's go with that.
At least I'm
Yeah, that would-
assuming anyway, from what I'm aware
Okay,
of.
Sean
anyway.
coming through with some facts. Sounds about right to me. I don't know. It'll be 12 weeks if it's a grade 3 tear. Okay, so let's put some good feelers out there. Did anyone actually see when he did it, or if he pulled up lame or anything, or was it just a kind of a build up and he kind of just took himself off? Because I don't remember seeing a moment. I don't know. Do you remember seeing a moment or not? You just saw him on the bench, didn't you?
Completely unbeknownst to me.
Mm.
I'm watching the game, and then all of a sudden, like I said, he's up on screen. There's an ice on his knee, and I'm like,
Oh, okay. Oh, TL.
It's
He did
again?
it jumping. He did it jumping for a mark. Of course he did. Well, that we can't help. Geez, I'm not doing really well with my jinxing. Last week I did a video saying that our fitness and our injuries were going well. Today, before McStay had even seen the ball, I got up his stats on my phone and I showed the people behind me and I said, Ben Mackay's doing okay because McStay is statless, and then McStay kicks.
all of a
has
sudden, yeah, he just changes the
5
game.
shots at
That's
goal.
innocent.
And, so apologies.
Although
Apologies.
Zachary got through another game, fine. So
I love
take that.
you coming in with the positives at the end. I love it. Good on you.
well, okay,
Another
I mean,
game.
it's not a positive like game, but I mean, at least there's something, I guess. But weirdly, can Essendon actually play properly at the MCG?
What a good question. That's a very shit. I don't know. What was our
Seriously,
last MCG game? Oh yeah, the Hawthorn game. So no,
Yeah,
in answer to that question.
So like, because wasn't the last MCG win game literally the Richmond game last year?
Dreamtime. It was.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, that's bad. That was not a good game either.
And how many? Actually, I want
remember.
to actually have a look at this. Like, how many games Essendon have had at the MCG since that game? Because obviously it was Hawthorn round 1, which was
How many losses? I think you could just state how many losses have we had at the MCG since that win? Oh, it's bad. It's really bad.
There you go. Richmond, Carlton, of course. Geelong, of course. Richmond again. Loss. Carlton loss. Yeah. So
Oh,
it's just
this is not good for
so
my
many
big guy. He got caught in a marking contest and got a pie player fall on him.
Jeez.
I know, right, Felix? Shout out to you. We're so back. So when you, I'm assuming when you say we're so back to the old ways. I think that's what you mean. Yeah,
The
I
round
know.
one days.
I've still got the Sage TL, so I might take it out with me on Wednesday when I go out there. Oh, all right. Well, before I let you go, what is your name? Because I don't think your name is Angelo.
Angelo.
Oh,
it's a fun-
Angelo. It's just it's coming up as Angelo. Did
No,
you do
well,
that on purpose?
yeah, because it was a fun little nickname friends came up with in high
Oh.
school, and I'm just like, all right, I'll take it.
Oh, okay. So am I getting some insight into Angelo here? Are you angry by nature?
I mean, no, but I mean, when Essendon
I'm just
perform like that,
Yeah, true. Fair. Bring the rage. Bring the rage. Angelo, before I let you go, changes for next week, what would you do? I mean, obviously May is going to be out. So going into Brisbane, any changes, like raw emotional changes right now?
oh, I mean, you wonder, would you bring McMahon in?
Yeah, I know you guys think that that's a really easy decision, and
I
I'm
know
just
that his
just
like
not overwhelmed
around
by
the
him.
ground output isn't as amazing, but
Yeah,
he has forward craft and can kick goals.
great point at this point. But you know what? I always say McMahon McMahon needs pure elite inside inside 50 kicking, delivery.
Yeah, 100%.
And we just don't do that. He needs what he needs what Gunston gets at Hawks. Silk delivery.
No, 100%. Actually, one of the key forwards actually are in the field. I've forgotten.
But what if we bring in a small? What if we replace Archie May with a small? I'm asking you.
Yeah, because Gresham got taken out, didn't he? Which meant.
Is that a bad idea? Does that make us too small?
Well, I mean, you've already got Sharp in there, so like if he's there, he's what 190 or something. So if you bring another small in, I mean, I think it works ish.
I'm just thinking maybe we just go small and just try and win some ground level ball. Look, there's a high chance that the stats are going to go against what I'm saying here, but I felt like we did not win ground ball today. Hard ball, ground level. I could be wrong, but I feel like a Jaden Ewan or even a Huss who could have kicked 5 in the VFL.
Yeah, actually, just quickly, did Essendon actually win that many clearances? Because like I remember seeing the stats while I was just kind of going off, and I see that like, oh yeah, Essendon have won 28 clearances. I'm like, it doesn't feel like that.
Stoppage, we got whipped out the middle. Stoppage clearances, maybe, but I feel like we just got our hands on the ball. Again, what constitutes a stoppage clearance? Is it just purely getting your hands on the ball? Is it an effective disposal to a player? What if that player has a Pies opponent like hanging off him? What if that player's flat-footed? What is a stoppage clearance exactly to the letter of the law? I don't know.
I have no idea.
Also,
just quickly, sorry.
Yep.
Did they actually go and put McGrath and Dacos? Because I feel like they kind of didn't.
No, they did. Yep.
I didn't even know. You didn't even notice. Wow.
Yeah. He just is very, very good. Very, very good player, unfortunately. Unfortunately, that's just it was always going to happen. So, Angelo, thank you so much. You may have saved the fan cams, by the way. Thank you so much. Well done on your Bomber Banter debut. You're welcome back anytime. And you may have saved the fan cam. So well done.
Thank you. All right, then. See you, Fiona.
See ya. See you next time. Hey. Thank you, Jeremy. Happy 1-year anniversary. We will be up and down like Rampy on a goalpost for a little while to come. So cheer up, people. That's a lovely little analogy from you. How can we forget? One of the greatest moments. Not. Matthew, thank you for the 3. Overhandballing could be our biggest issue. Yeah. But where was the confidence? See, this is Archie Roberts, again, stands out so much. Like he's glowing. He's almost lit up in confidence and he's playing like that. Like he's bottled the confidence of last week and he's brought it with him today. Nobody else. Maybe Caddy in small doses. Kako, yes. Belief in the ability to win a one-on-one. I mean, his goal, he was so smart in the initial contest. He used his body. He doesn't even have, like he's little-ish. He used his body to he put body on, I can't remember which Pies player it was. The ball was up for grabs and he used his body to, win that ground ball. I just said we didn't win many ground ball, but there was a very good question from you, Felix. Would you rather Cox or McMahon in the side? Based on what I just said before, and that's, I think McMahon needs very elite delivery into the forward line. Well, in a way, Cox does too, but he's very good on the lead. Very good on the lead. Smarter than most people give him credit for. I think he's got pretty good forward now. Man, it's a hard question. It's a really hard question. I'm trying to think of an answer, but I don't think I can pick one. Who would you pick? You, Felix, and chat. I've been impressed by Cox. Don't yell at me. I'm only telling you what I feel and think. I've been impressed by Cox the last couple of weeks, so I'm not going to sit on the fence. Cox. Chat. You had a pie today. That was I had my hot chips and they were very good. They were very good hot chips, but the trick is you always take them from the back. Don't worry about the first in, first out. Just take them from the back. Crispy, hot. I just load them up with salt, no sauce. So I started the day very well. I saw a very good friend go on beautifully. And then it all just turned to shit from there, really, because of my football club. So fun times. I would play Roby's effort today over Perkins' best game any day. Okay. Jace, you're going with Cox. Yeah. So, thank you, Craig. We might do that. What do we think, team? Should we listen to Brad's press conference? Let me know if you want to do that, and we'll do it together. Yeah, absolutely, Noel. 100%. Couldn't agree more. He's a good kick for goal. Yeah, I think he started badly. Redback. Ollie Holland laid out for Carlton. Interesting. Well, I mean, if that's for mental health, then I can totally understand that. What is Robert's contract length? Tassie will target him. Oh, hell no. Hell no. Yeah, they can try, but no, that's not happening. This guy's the next captain. Like, I look at him at training and I just want to yell at him, Captain, like, because I just think he, in a way, spiritually, maybe he knows. Space Coyote. Yep, I agree. Yep, DX. Oh, I'm a bit. I thought you were all going to yell at me for saying Cox, but I have to say, and I'm not saying he's perfect, and I'm not saying he's going to win his one-on-ones because that's not his shtick, but I think he's has a lot better footy IQ than what I gave him credit for. And to his credit, he's playing with an urgency. Call that contract year, call that feeling better in his mind and his body about his concussion. Call it what you want. Reporting it as we see it. Cox don't be silly. Cox can play many roles. I mean, even bringing Cox and put him on the wing, maybe put Langford back in the forward line. No, put Edwards back in the forward line and play Cox on the wing, although I have really liked Cox in the VFL up forward. Very good. Did I? Sorry, Matthew, my bad. Where? Oh. Inexperienced team got smashed by the most experienced team on the second biggest stage in footy. To be honest, I'm not going to hang my head too much on this loss. Yeah, I think that is some really good logic from you, Matthew, and coming at a good time. Definitely. And if they, as they say, how many days experience does this give these young players, this kind of stage? Well, we're in a rebuild. So any lessons that we can collect right now is going to be good for them. Cox. Stop yelling at me, David. Exactly. Muzz, I think you don't agree. Or what don't you agree about? Uncle, our mids were completely useless at bounce. The game was lost with our mids performance. I tend to agree because I think by virtue of the mids being bad, not only are they losing advantage at centre bounce, but they are putting pressure on the backs, and then it's the mids who are delivering into the forward line and not doing that well either. So I think they've got to take a lot of the brunt here. Cox. Yeah, let's go. They were crispy today, the chips. Yeah, I think the trick is get them at the back. And if there's only a couple left in the Bay Marie thing, you just hang back until you just watch the lady behind the scenes. You just eye her. And you see when she puts them straight out, that's when you make your move. I've thought way too much about this, very evidently. Cox is not your answer, Fiona. Well, can he be my temporary answer? It's all your fault, Fiona. Twitter told me. Wow. Seems like the war is my fault. Everything else is my fault. And if you need someone to blame, no, I'm not going to advocate for that. But, hey. Presser? Okay. I got it. Thank you. Thank you, Matthew. Big love. I appreciate you. Oh, I see, Luke. And I say that on Roby as he will continue to develop where Perkins hasn't. Yeah, look, it's interesting on Roby. I think, again, just like I think they had a lead up and they had the whiteboard out and they were mapping every day in the preseason leading up to day one against Hawthorn for Ridley's recovery and his rehab and setting him up for a good season. I think they've done essentially the same for Roby in terms of the day he eventually moves into the midfield. Like, I think they've literally mapped out how many games he's gonna play for seniors, hopefully, best case scenario, of course. And then I think this preseason, I think they're gonna, this preseason coming at the end of the year, I reckon they're gonna up his running so much. I reckon he's gonna drop 5 kilos, get him a little bit less top heavy, and that's when he'll start to run through the midfield a bit more. I just can see, the development. They are all in on it, and as they should be. Morty Mac, just don't know why we didn't play the second half. That's a good question. Witch's Hatch was a training drill. Ray, McMahon is the better forward than Cox, but can do less around the ground. Yeah. I'm just underwhelmed a little bit. I don't know. I could be wrong, and I'm so happy to eat my words. So happy to eat my words with McMahon. Make him captain now. Yeah. I want him captain. I hear you. I do. 2028. Okay. We should probably just go ahead and extend that. Like, blow Kane Corns' mind off and just extend that for 15 years. Right? Love this from you, Space Coyote. Love this. He absolutely, I don't even know if it's a smoky anymore. I think there's really, really good conversation to be had. Because today it was proof to me that it's not all about touches for him. It's not an accumulative game he's playing. It was impactful in important moments. Second half decline seemed like running out of gas, but not historically. We have run out games really well. Today, the heads dropped in that last quarter. The heads absolutely dropped. And then there was a lot of self-preservation, wasn't there? They were all kind of going internal. I felt like Zach Merritt was playing that way. It was all about me in the moment. What can I do to not look so bad? What can I do to make the stat sheet not look so bad at the end of this game? I know not consciously. They're not consciously thinking that, but I think subconsciously. And then that's when it falls apart and you lose the connection, you lose the synergy, you lose the camaraderie, and you don't want to be in that place. Has Cox found the weight room? Chris and chat and everybody watching, you would be shocked. Now, I'm not allowed to tell you because, I don't know, is it out of against the law in terms of the AFL rules, but you would be shocked if I told you how much he weighs. Shocked. He is never going to be a guy who's going to be a Sullivan Roby. He does not have the genetics to fill out like that. And there are many players who are built like him, but he is not slight. And maybe it's been a while since a lot of you have seen him close up, but he's not scrawny by any means. He weighs more than you think he does. Just saying that. Enjoy life now. Mackay, Parish, Corwell need a VFL stint. Yeah. Unfortunately, there is not much depth down back, so we can't do the first one. But after last week, how many people are saying drop Parish and Corwell? Nobody. So it's just weird, guys. It's a really weird place to be. You still can't watch Cox have set shot for goals. Is he left-footed or right-footed? I kind of love this about him. I'm kind of like, I'm here for the question mark on that. I'm here for I just see what I get. But the good thing is he can do it on both. Like today, there were times where Blackiston needed to go on his right, but had no right foot, always on the left. And granted, he did a little shimmy shake and got out of the equation, or the situation. But Coxie, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter where. He just goes on whichever foot is preferable. But I like the question mark. Cox fullback, no, I don't think so, Sean. I think that would be a disaster. Oh, interesting. A lot of people not on Corwell. Could be due for a sit. Yeah. Yeah, he is. He's not. Stop. Get out of your heads that he's going to bulk up. He's just not. It's not his game. It's not his body. Not that he's not his game. It's just not the way he's built. And those are genetics. Because you know what? And this is happening with a lot of the draftees that I'm talking to and that have the problem of they're eating and they're in the weights room, but the speed of which they're eating and putting and doing weights, they are just burning it triple time when they go out there. And it's pretty much the situation for Cox, but he's not scrawny. Enjoy life. Skills appalling. Handboarding, pretty simple skill. Yep, you're right. Collingwood, the winner of the day. Collingwood. Logic is overrated. Let's be emotional today. Absolutely. That's what we're here for. Tomorrow I'm going to wake up and I'm going to think, why did I say that? That was really dumb. Or the stat sheet's going to do me dirty and, debunk something I've said. I really hope Cox has improved. Well, I only have VFL level to dissect and analyse and report back to you, and definite improvement from where he's come from and from the preseason, because preseason, wow. Yeah, nothing good to report back from the preseason, but he's a different person and a different player that did that preseason. So that's all I can tell you. I don't know. Again, don't yell at me if it doesn't translate when he gets his opportunity. But VFL is looking all right. Mids lost the game. Brad was having a go at them at 3/4 time. Somebody send me that footage somewhere. I want to see that. But good. That should make a lot of you happy, right? You want him animated. Brian, yeah, it's a mystery. They've listed him as injured and then come out and said that he's battling some general soreness. I don't feel confident in that explanation, but we wait and see. I like you. Oh, I like you too. Oh, you Cox. I thought you were going to say McMahon, actually, Felix. I don't know why. Oh, Tove. Same as Coles, take fruit and veg from the back. Yeah, I shouldn't really facilitate this kind of consuming. That's not how you consume. Take from the front. As a person in the food industry with a history, I shouldn't. But when it comes to hot chips, I mean business. Hello, Annalise. Had a great custard donut from the Industry Beans coffee cart. A custard donut? I've seen custard donuts. I thought they had jam donuts. And did you have a coffee too, or you just went for the donut? I mean, I can get on board that decision as well. Why doesn't somebody else? I'm going to put the chat. I know a few people were asking for it. Jump on for a chat. Put the big Ginge at full forward next week. Yeah, he missed 2 goals today too. He usually just gobbles those up, doesn't he? Wasn't a good day for the big Ginge. So he's back in the forward line. Again, the whiplash. 2 weeks ago, he's toweling up the ruck. Maybe he's not a ruck after all, hey? I don't know. Oh, I think you mean in Archie May's absence. Oh, okay, so we go back to Blackiston on Draper? That's a little bit terrifying, I'm not going to lie. Port all over Geelong. No. Poor goal kicking is hurting them. Hurting Geelong? Well, let's not. What's the quarter? We won't read into that because, at some point, Geelong are just going to flick the switch. Cox needs more time in the twos, possibly. The consistency could be good for him. Yes, and today was game 3 on Anzac Day. Couldn't expect much from him. Game 3. Roby? I think that's Roby. Space Coyote is bringing in Nguyen, Gresham, and Cox for Blackiston, Sharp, and May. Assuming May's... Oh, hang on, let me digest that. Nguyen, Gresham, Cox for Blackiston, Sharp, and May. Okay, so you've got... So who's helping in the ruck? Because Cox did play in the ruck in the VFL, and I know a lot of people yelled at me on Twitter for reporting that as if I was advocating for Cox in the ruck. I was not doing that. I was telling you that he took some centre bounce ruck hit outs. I would not expect him to be doing that in an AFL game. Maybe if he's down forward, he takes a ruck stoppage tap, but no. So, yeah, my question is who is doing the rucking, helping rucking? Because May would potentially maybe help, but if he's out, which he probably will be. Sharp, or Gut says they give him another game, so I would probably say Roby maybe. I'd be happy with Gresham to come back in. And Nguyen, would be happy with that too. I just want I want us to go a little bit smaller in the forward line. Yeah. And a bit conditional right now. I think there's room for him to improve on that, but a little bit too conditional. Whereas Cox, that was a different attitude. Cox can play ruck as well. Yeah, I don't want... Imagine Cox rucking against Draper. That shit's going to be on a meme. You know that, right? It's going to be on a meme. All right, let's have a chat to Jace. Hello, Jace.
Hey, how's it going?
Oh, I'm sorry you're back for another loss, but you did get a win appearance in last week. So thank God you came for that, because who knows when.
Yeah. I mean, the last 2 weeks have been not too bad. I mean, we had the Melbourne game, and then last week I was really impressed with Gold Coast. But again, I was like a lot of supporters, and probably maybe even yourself this week. I really had hope. I just felt maybe we could win. I was like confident. I'd watched Collingwood the last few weeks, and yep, Pendlebury does it again. Last year it was side bottom. These guys just seem to get better with age, and I just can't wait till they retire, because I'm sick of them. It's just the same thing. Yeah.
You're right. I haven't actually brought this up, but do you think, or is this an excuse or an explanation? Expectation. So going before this week, the expectation was below ground zero, rock bottom.
Yep.
Essendon cannot win a game this season. They're no good. They're rebuilding. Won't even win a game this season. All of a sudden this week, some people in the media are even tipping Essendon. All of a sudden they're like, there's a heartbeat. There's excitement. Did the expectation? Did that do anything to the psyche?
It probably did. I mean, it's like that. You've probably seen that meme where it's that triangle where we're at the bottom, and then you get a bit of hope, and then we're at that top. And yeah, it's the same. It's just, I think maybe some of the players got caught up in it. Of course, I mean, you look at Collingwood, they're a very experienced team. Obviously, they've been in grand final a couple of years ago, been in prelims, finals. Compared to our guys, a lot of them first time out on Anzac Day. And, I just thought the last few weeks we've just been playing so well that I thought would be much better than this. I mean, I could just see it happening in the second quarter where Collingwood missed a lot of shots, and I thought, this is not looking good. And it's just, I just feel like we've got a problem in the ruck. We've definitely got a problem in the ruck, and I'm just wondering why we didn't recruit someone like a Marshall from the Saints or something like that. We just struggle, and we are going to struggle in the coming weeks as well. It's Brisbane, GWS, Dockers in Melbourne. It's not going to be too much fun. I mean, I don't know. It just felt like a bit of a step back, but I feel like you've said already to a few of the guests, it's going to be one of these years. I think in the next couple of, it's going to be one of these years. Yeah.
So hypothetically speaking, hypothetical situation where May is not injured, right? And he's playing next week, and Brian is not sore. Would you be bringing him in next week?
I don't know. I mean, again, is he ready? He's only played one VFL game in like a year, and then already he's got soreness. So that's a concern. That's a real concern already. I don't know. I mean, we're up against, Draper next week. That's going to be fun. I don't think he's ready. I agree. I think I've watched Cox a little bit on the VFL. I think we probably have to play him next week, as Archer May, I doubt, I mean, touch wood, but I doubt he's playing next week. And that's really all we've got at the moment. Ridley's a while away. Harry Jones just never seems to come up. I mean, he's still 2 or 3 weeks away, but again, similar to Ridley, just never stays fit. You look down the list, there isn't much coming in, and I mean, Vicenti's out for a while as well. So we kind of have to live with Blackiston and Peter Wright and maybe Cox a little bit, but that's not going to be a long-term plan. I would hope not anyway. Yeah.
Yeah, I think. I mean, Vigo's injury was unfortunate as well. I would have loved, just in terms of his development and how good he was, how improved he was across the preseason. So in December, he was getting, like, he was good in the ruck, in the tap outs, but his work around the ground was just really not, I won't say poor, just an inexperienced kind of ruck, underdone ruck, not really knowing how to impact outside of a ruck contest and get around the ground and get to where he can, be and impact around the ground. Sorry, I'm repeating myself, but
that's right.
And then he did that hammy, and it kind of interrupted that momentum now. And I think the club really would have just loved to have Visentini just trekking along nicely in the VFL, even with Brian was there as well. So yeah, I mean, another left field option is that, because Jerine is in the VFL as well, and granted he didn't have his best game on the weekend, but yesterday, sorry, but left of field option, if you swing Blackiston forward or in May's position and you bring in Jerine back, because Jerine actually has done a bit of ruck play practice at training, a little bit in the centre, so
yeah. I mean, we're at this point where we're clutching at straws. I mean, it's a rebuild year, so we've got to try all these players out to see, like, are they capable? Are they fit for these big time games? It's just disappointing that we just cannot. Even some of the leaders today and Durham, I just this year every game I'm just not seeing like we've seen in previous years. That's one of the more disappointing players for me. And people mentioned Caldwell as well. I mean, those two just a couple of years ago just seem to be trekking a lot better than they have been. And yeah, it's just disappointing. I just kept thinking like today, because I think even James Hurd mentioned Sam Durham was referencing Terry Danaher or whatever he was during the week. And I'm thinking, like maybe today's another breakout game. Like I just wanted to see a breakout game for one of these guys, and I'm still waiting.
Yeah, he's been a very weird one, Sam Durham. Like a part of me is like, I understand explanation. I understand you're coming out of the centre, a bit of a different role, and then my excuse radar is going off. Like that can't be an excuse. You're a leader now. You need to just you need to impact where you're put, and we know you've got more and better in you. So I don't want to let him off the hook entirely, because I think you can still impact with your leadership as well. And so I thought he probably needs to find another gear. But oh gosh, all right, Jace, thanks so much for joining. It's going to be a roller coaster.
It's going to be a roller coaster year. And again, thanks for all you're doing. And we just got to hold on to something. Hopefully, we pull out a win in the next couple of weeks. Probably unlikely, but we just got to keep going and have the attitude that Archie Roberts had in his sort of post-game on the ground. Really impressive, and you could see how pissed he was. So,
What did he say? Did he say anything of note aside?
He could just see his emotions. He was like, because obviously they were talking about his, I think Pendlebury was his teacher or something in high school or whatever it was, a football coach or whatever. And you could just see he wasn't interested in talking about that. He was just really, really disappointed, and just didn't want it. He's like, I didn't want him to do this against us. Like he can do it against other teams, but not against us. So you could see the real. And to be fair, some of the other players really need to have that attitude. So I'll leave it there, and I'll see you again next week.
You nailed it. Thank you, Jace. Appreciate you. Good night.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye. Hello, Space Coyote. I'm assuming that's not your name. Okay. Is that how you said? You didn't want to tell me. I just asked you your name. I'll put the link back in the chat. If you want to jump, try that link again, Space Coyote. I wanted to answer a question. I think it was Chris. Oh, what is happening with Fiorini? Well, he's got a back issue. We all know that, but it's a little bit more complex. And I believe he saw a specialist last week, and they're weighing up options. So I can't say much more than that, but Yeah, we'll see how we go. Look, at training, he was doing, I reckon he would have done maybe 5 or 6 high-speed sprints. So high level, high speed, probably his top speed, to be honest, sprints. So that was pleasing. But I think with his specific injury, it's all about how he backs up the next day and how he pulls up the next day. So I have no intel on that, unfortunately. Let's have a chat to Joe.
Hey, how's it going? How we doing?
Look, do we feel a bit better after 2 hours here? Yeah, maybe a little bit better. How are you?
Yeah, I'm fine. I had to go to church. I had to go to church after that because it was literally. I literally just walked back through the door right now. I had to. I'm in my gear, of course. But
look at the t-shirt. Love it.
I know. We looked so good. We looked so good in the new jerseys. It's a shame that the players didn't get the memo that you look good, but you also got to play good as well. So we got one part right. It's a shame that the second half didn't get through loud and clear to the players. But
so what went wrong? Tell us.
I mean, we went wrong on a number of different fronts, didn't it? I don't like the positioning of some of our players. I thought we had a good thing going with our forward line. I didn't like it that Edwards wasn't lined up there. I think, the guy is he's a shrewd operator. He can certainly pose some headaches. It became a bit too obvious with our ball movement moving forward where we wanted to go. Caddy's, tried hard. Yeah, he missed a couple of easy ones at the start, and some, my brother was very annoyed about that. I'm like, look, it's all right. Those opportunities will come. As long as he's getting the opportunities, then that's fine. But it was unfortunate that the opportunities didn't come because the midfield got absolutely smacked, which was a bit unfortunate. Can't be relying on Dos Metros Petros, your boy, to continue to pull us out every single time. He was up against 2 very good rucks. Their midfield was in full swing.
No.
Between the ears. It was lost between the ears right from the start. Right from the start, between the ears. We psyched ourselves out. We knew it was going to be a big game. We knew it was Anzac Day. We completely psyched ourselves out. We could not. It wasn't Collingwood. Collingwood themselves weren't that good. And you speak to a Collingwood fan, they'll tell you, we didn't play that great. We just gave it to him. We absolutely gave it to him. And that's where the real disappointment is, that we had put together 10 really good quarters in a row. And just as we started to build that belief, for some reason, the players got overawed by the occasion. And that was the one thing that we were concerned about. Will they be overawed or not? And I
think Joe's internet is overawed.
That's not good.
I'm just going to sit here patiently and quietly and pray. I'm going to channel some of your churchy vibes and pray.
Well, it's the Wi-Fi showing me that it is connected. The Wi-Fi showing me that it's connected. So I'm hoping that's coming through okay.
Now we're good.
Okay, good. Excellent. Look, it was between the ears and it pissed me off. It really pissed me off. All right, fine. You're struggling early. It's a big game. It's a big occasion, sure. But they weren't handling it that great either at the start. They were missing shots. They showed that they were clearly human, and it wasn't like they were playing sensational football. I was really hoping that we'd have some more leadership come quarter time where it's like, all right, guys, let's regroup. Obviously, it's a big day. We've started slow. Let's just be measured about things. But we sort of went away from the football that we knew that was working for us. We were handballing to each other, flat-footed, side-by-side, fumbling. And such was it. It was so self-inflicted. There was that one passage of play. Fumble, all right, but no one was on him. So he could pick it up to handball to the next person. They would fumble. Again, no one was on them, so they could pick the ball up and pass to the next person, who then also fumbled. By this stage, finally, one Collingwood player got to that guy, to then fumble again, to then cause an immediate turnover. So we were never going to win it. We were never going to win it with the players so far inside their own heads. They never really gave themselves a chance. And that's ultimately the disappointment. And that's why it just ended up ballooning to such a ridiculous margin. So it's not a lack of talent. It's not a lack of skill or a system that changed, I don't think, apart from maybe some positional changes here and there that I really hope we learn from and not make that mistake again. But I'd say that this game was well and truly lost between the ears, and it was lost right from the get-go, unfortunately. And the lack of leadership, really a lack of leadership around the ground to get the boys back on track. And that's a big disappointment.
Well, just on that point, Joe, that you say lack of leadership, and I know you can say what you want about Ridley, but his leadership, the way he leads is by calming people down and just controlling the ball for half a second more. And that is how I believe he shows his leadership. And I thought at moments today we really, really missed him, even just for 5 minutes, to compose the field. Azza says, agree, Joe, Collingwood didn't play great footy up until halftime. We were right in it. Then it went to shit because we lost the game because of poor skills, poor matchup, fumbles, self-inflicted. I also liked Fazza. I thought you nailed it too. Disappointing day, stay off socials, but at this point, spent so many petrol tickets from all of those turnovers. They were cooked by that third quarter. And that's how it felt I don't know about you, Joe, if you were there, but that's how it felt to me as a spectator. I felt exhausted and I thought, this is exhausting them because the repeat, having to fight so hard, but self-inflicted, but having to then fight to win it back, that's exhausting. And we look,
It was, I describe it as if it was a car stuck in mud. The car it's spinning. The wheels are spinning so hard trying to get out of the mud, but you just exhausted all your petrol tickets trying to get out. And in the end, they were just waltzing it through. And I guess that's where the disappointment is. Massive shout out to Archie Roberts. Loved his game, of course. He's trying to run. He's trying to create overlap. He's trying to get some bounce out of that back line. But there was just no one really presenting well enough for them to be able to do that. And it was the time and time again, the constant running along the boundary in the back line. You know where it's going to go next. And they're so well set up for it. Guys, change it up a little bit. Aren't you sick and tired of this same story? Like, you haven't seen the script enough? How can you continuously rewatch the same movie, replay the same episode, and anticipate you're going to get a different ending? No. Spoiler alert. If you're going to watch the same thing again, it's going to happen again. So it's ridiculous. I'm just looking at these guys thinking, why are we not changing up Brad? Rather than looking pissed off and surprised in the box about your players' lack of ability to change things, get down there, eye to eye, and tell them, wake up. We are still in it. We had the worst second quarter I've seen in quite some time. It was still only 14 points. Why do you not feel that relief of we're still in this game? I just saw no resistance, unfortunately, in the second half.
And, just to that point that you just made about we know where they were wanting to push us wide. We know that's exactly how they play. And your answer to why not switch it up? It's not that we didn't have spare loose players, because we did, running and spreading to get the outlet. But do you know what the difference was? They, in those moments outside of Archie Roberts, none of them had the confidence that they could make that kick. Not Zach Reed, not Jackson Pryor, not even Jacob Farrow, who was opting to handball at times where he could have settled for a second and kicked. And that's the difference between this week and last week. The confidence to actually make some of those kicks. Because you're right, Collingwood didn't press. Well, they pressed, but they didn't put it as more pressure, any more pressure than what Gold Coast did last week, and we were hitting some of those kicks. The difference is the belief to be able to make those kicks. So what did they do? 100%. Transfer pressure onto somebody else with a loopy, bad. Tom Mitchell would be very upset with the quality of handballs. Loopy handballs are awful.
Look, I know, and what makes it worse is that it was on this day, right? It was on this day, Anzac Day, massive crowd, massive eyes on it. Rather than rising up to it, everyone became insular because they started that's selfish football. Rather than thinking about your teammate and just deferring it to someone else, that is literally the antithesis of what Anzac Day is supposed to be about. And that's what hurts. That's what really hurts, because it's all about mateship, camaraderie, perseverance in the face of adversity. You know, it's altruism at its highest, going out to potentially and be in the willingness to put your body on the line, your life on the line for your country, for your fellow man and woman, of course. Like, that's what this is about: bravery, courage, and selflessness. The number of times I've seen players not actually diving to be the first one onto the pill, but instead are waiting to receive the ball. If I had a shot every time I saw that, I'd have liver poisoning today. It was very sad to see.
You wouldn't have made it to church. You wouldn't have made it to church. You'd be passed out in the back of the Uber.
Correct. So I really, really, really hope that the playing group look at this and it is analysed to within an inch of its life. I really hope that it's analysed with all the preparation beforehand, the lead up. Where did it go wrong? Where did the club psychologist, the club has to be talking to every single one of these boys today, tomorrow, the next day. They have to break it down. Where did you start losing sight of the game plan? Because it didn't look like there was one really at times, because of the reflexive nature of how it was playing. So I really hope that this, I hate to use the L word, the learnings word. I really hope they learn a lot from this. Yeah, I know.
It's apt, yeah.
So fingers crossed this doesn't happen again. Next big milestone, next big one is, of course, the Dreamtime game, round 10, I think it is. So, yeah, I really hope come that one. Obviously, the opposition, obviously not the same caliber. They don't have a Pendlebury running around. They don't have Steel Sidebottom running around. I'm sort of sick of these two guys torching us every year. Like,
I know, right?
do the players not? Do the players not? Seriously?
Yeah.
Like, Degoe as well. Degoe is less than Kmart Dusty. He is like Temu Dusty. And of course we make him look like Dusty. So
the worst one was I'm not gonna kick the guy while he's down, but a few of the others we made look very good today, I think, Joe.
Yeah, Sardi had a good game. I liked Sardi's game. I like his run and endeavour. I liked Sardi's follow-up work, because it wasn't just a one-off. Like, he'll do a pass, he might have stuffed it up, but you'll see him run again to regather the ball and get the ball forward. So I do like that. All right, you can stuff up. I get it, bro. You're a human being just like you and just like anyone else. But you went to try and fix up your mistake, and in quite a few instances he did. So I liked Sardi's game. I liked Roberts' game. Katko's game was great. Caddy continued to present, which was really good. Obviously, it would have been beautiful if he converted, but alas, that wasn't the case. But apart from them,
he misses 3 goals or 2 goals in the first. Like, essentially would have been embarrassed. The look on his face was embarrassment. But the best element to Caddy is that he will not drop his head, and he will not let that define the day, the moment, how he plays. And that is a trait that the rest of them need. Whoever, they all went insular, as you said, but he doesn't. He moves on very quickly, and long may that continue.
How good was Day Wicks as well? Nice big goal, nice big mark, good first half. But him a lot, it's hard for me to say, bad work, Day Wicks, because you didn't play the full game. One hand by itself can't clap. So he really needed a lot of assistance, and alas, he didn't get it. So good luck for the rest of the night, Fiona. Well done. 2 hours, 15 minutes. And guys, stick together. I know it's an embarrassing performance, unfortunately. I know it was not good for all of us, and we've all got a bit of egg on our faces considering all of the hope that we had, and a bit of a reality, I suppose, dose of reality. But you can't forget, it was a very young team. That can't be taken away, and it should hopefully be a wonderful experience for them to hold us in great stead moving forward. Have a good night, guys. Kind of the Dons.
Thank you. Bye. Before we move on, TL, thank you. Yes, everybody, if you're here and you haven't hit subscribe and the like button, please do that for me. Now, Kev, do you come in peace?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but
Hang
do
on.
you come in
I
peace?
can't hear you. Just give me 1 minute because I
Oh,
can't
no,
hear.
not this game again.
Just give me 30 seconds because I can barely hear you.
Okay. The can't hear game. Oh, thank you, Void. Appreciate it. Well played. You earned it. We sucked. Can't imagine it. Yeah. Appreciate it. Well done to you. Your guys they just don't slow down. You own us on this day. Can you hear me, Kev?
Hang on.
I still don't think he can hear me.
See if this one's all right.
Okay, so he comes in peace. Is that what you're telling me? The reason, chat, you're probably wondering why I asked him that. And I asked him that because
there we go.
his name here, it says Kev's Magpies. And so I had to ask him if he comes in peace or am I going to have to put him in the timeout? So do you come in peace?
Should be able to hear me. If not, might have to use my AirPods. No. I'll jump out.
Okay, let's go to Anthony. Hey, I know Anthony. I know you come in peace.
I do come in peace. How you doing?
How are you? Good to see you this year. First fan cam for this year. How are you?
Yeah. Happy birthday.
Oh, thank you so much. Appreciate it. You are, as I said earlier, an OG. Thank you for being on the journey. Hopefully,
How you coping? Two and a bit hours in.
Yeah, I'm starting to feel the giddiness. I'm starting to feel better. I'm starting to feel like, there's bigger than life than football, and life is hard enough as it is. If we can make fun and be a bit stupid and dumb towards the end of this show, then at least everyone's had a laugh or two or three. How are you feeling?
Pretty good. I have got help, so there's been a few tequilas and wines, and I've been in the waiting room a couple times, but kids have been screaming and I've had to jump in and out, so they're finally asleep now.
Okay. So we're after dark. Good. I love an Anthony after dark on the tequila. Even better. All right, talk to me. What was the game? Talk to me about the game.
Yeah, look, we're very lucky to be in it at halftime, and I thought the end score was pretty flattering in the end.
Agree.
I think everything's been said already by everybody else. I've listened to pretty much everybody. The only thing
nobody is you, Anthony. And if anybody ever thinks that I've got nothing to add or what I want to say has already been said, never think that. This is my shtick. I will get something so gold from you and you'll realize that you have a lot to offer because nobody is you. And I mean you in the chat watching and you as well. So continue.
Well, thank you. One thing I loved seeing, McRae on the in the dugout with his players celebrating, talking to them, and I just feel like a day like today is where everybody could get overawed, and I felt that both teams were nervous the first quarter, and us being the younger team, if you see an experienced team like Collingwood getting nervous, then Essendon being nervous is natural.
Nobody else has said that. What a great point.
And if you see them being nervous and, they're fumbly and get down the boundary, I think I said it the last time I was on fan cams, coaching, it's not a science and it's an art. And sometimes you've got to know when you've got to, when the players need you with immediate feedback. I just don't know if it's always, you see good coaches, sometimes they're up in the box, sometimes they're down. I just don't think Brad Scott does enough up in the box and down the boundary.
Yeah, you know what that immediately made me think of? You remember when, does anybody remember when Ben Rudden was coaching? And I think it was, I don't know which media person it was, but maybe Matthew Lloyd, it sounds about right. But he was saying like, get down in your players' faces and help them on the ground. And
then
I think we lost like the next 5 games or something. And he went back up to the box and then we won one. And it was just, for some reason, Brad doesn't like it down there. I don't think I've ever seen him down there. Have you seen him down there?
I've never seen him down there, no.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know why some coaches just don't like it down there. I don't know. But maybe Like, it's a bit like you probably say it with your kids, and I say it to my little nieces when they say, no, I don't want that. But try it. If you don't like it, then you can say I'll accept. You don't have to eat it or try it. But he's never actually tried it, or maybe he tried it at North. But clean slate at Essendon, so maybe try it.
I don't know. I remember it's been brought up 2 months before, and he said, I think he said something along the lines of he sees the game better from up there. But there's sometimes when it doesn't matter how you see the game, the players actually just need you, and they need that inspiration, they need that coaching direct, rather than over the phone. I don't know. That's what I feel.
It's a good point, and with such a young team, maybe some of those young players need that direct, interaction or calming, because things look manic out there and felt manic. But isn't that what are we doing with our runners? Are runners a thing anymore? Do they even send messages with runners? I barely see the runners out there.
Yeah, I didn't see them. To be fair, I wasn't paying attention. I was too disappointed in the scoreline. Yeah. It looked like every time I looked up, I wasn't at the game today, so every time I looked up, there was a Collingwood goal in the second half, so it was hard to keep my eyes on the screen.
What did you think, Anth, on the selection?
I think I posted on the channel. I was worried about the balance. And I know I agreed with you with your post on Twitter. Obviously they're looking to the future, putting Sharp in.
Yeah.
And so where do you find the balance between exposing guys at a young age and also not making them earn it? How do you find that? Where's that balance? And I'm not saying I have the answer. I'm just saying it's tricky. Some characters need to feel like they've earned it, and others, if you make it earn it, like Archie Perkins, probably be the perfect example. I think he's been handled the exact opposite. He was gifted games when he probably should have been taken out way earlier than he was.
Yep, great call.
And I don't know, Dyson Sharp's personality, but was today good for him to be, he's injured for a number of weeks, plays one game in the VFL. Are you telling him that, hey, you're an elite AFL midfielder, or are you telling him that he's going to get a game number as soon as he's available? Or do you want to send him the message that, hey, even though you've been out, you've still got to make sure you're earning a spot? I don't know. What do you think?
It's like at this point in time, my brain goes, okay, pros, cons column. And on this particular thing, I think I have equal amount of pros and cons. Like I can see the logic in getting him exposed and him and Roby exposed to a stage like this, because granted, we're not making finals or grand finals anytime soon. So they're not going to get that exposure. And they're the future, essentially. Roberts, Kako, Caddy, future. Anything, and maybe Zach Reid I'll put in there. Anything outside of that is going to be come or go. So I can see the logic in that, but then I see the logic in, I've harped on about selection integrity both ways. You got to, you got to show that you're earning it and you're bashing the door down in the twos. But then what if you're a senior player and you're consistently getting games gifted as well, and you haven't necessarily earned them? So I don't know the answer to that.
Tricky. Yeah, I agree with some of the other people that have been on. I feel like there was just maybe too much chopping and changing.
Okay.
I feel like we were lucky to be in the game, and do you change the positions around at halftime? Did that flow? Did that take out any momentum or any synchronicity that the team had that was keeping them in it? Because it felt like the wheels fell off after about 2 minutes into the third quarter.
Actually, that's a good point, because it felt like moves from the stat sheet. We were in the game, but it didn't feel like we're in the game. Every time I looked up and I saw 14 points, I thought, man, it feels like we're 50 points, 60 points behind. But on the score sheet, we were getting killed in the hit-outs, so they put Blackest in the middle. Understandable, because you're reacting to the score sheet, not necessarily the play or the score line. Actually, it's a really good point. And I don't have the answer to that either. So quite frankly, I have not many answers right now, but I don't know. What do you think? Do you think they played to the stat sheet more than the scoreboard?
I hadn't thought of that. I hadn't thought of playing to the stat sheet, but yeah, I didn't like Edwards being in the back line or on the wing. Just I was like, they talk about him just popping up where they don't expect him. It's like, so put him in the forward line. Where, do you know what I mean? Because whenever we would kick into the forward line, we were lost. And you have somebody that's always popping up in holes. Maybe that's a good thing there. I don't know, maybe it's a learning lesson for the coaches.
That, and you know what? My saving grace, my hope, a part of my hope was I knew that Collingwood's backline are so smart and so diligent and so in sync, and they were just going to read everything. But in the back of my head, I'm like, yeah, but that's Tom Edwards too. Reads it so well, footy IQ off the charts, the basics, perfect. Like, find space, as you say, where they, kind of dictates to the ball carrier where to kick to him rather than wait to react to the ball kicker. And then I thought maybe Howe, if he's lined up on Howe at times, that he might be able to just, I don't know, diminish a little bit of his intercept game by virtue of just outsmarting him or being on the same level of IQ. And I think, taking him out.
That's a good call.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I think we lost a bit of that.
Definitely Ridley out hurts. He straightens up our back line. It's no coincidence that he came in and we played better.
Yep.
And he goes out and we're a little bit lost, especially in the back line. I actually liked, I think some people may disagree, I liked Langford in the back line as as a Ridley replacement for a while. Like, he had a bit of a grunt there. I felt like he used the ball fairly well.
Mm-hmm. Maybe that's one I have to see on the replay. Oh, God, I can't believe I have to sit through this replay. But anyway, the things I do, I've committed well and truly a year. So committed a year and hopefully many, many more. So it's part of the job now officially. But maybe I have to watch it on the replay because at the ground I thought he was not having an impact. But maybe on the TV you can appreciate it a bit more.
Yeah, look, I could be wrong.
No.
It could be biased that I do. I'm a Langford fan. I was disappointed with his first part of the year, but I was surprised when he was moved to the wing defence in that Melbourne game, and I was quite happy. So I thought he did quite well there, but I could be wrong.
No.
I'm sure everybody will let me know.
Go with your gut. I'm sure I'll be saying on the rating show he's probably going to get a Twix or two, and there's probably not going to be many. But this is raw reaction, so maybe after the replay we'll feel a little bit different. Or maybe it won't, and we were just as bad as we're all talking about. So
no, we were shit.
Okay. All right. Good. Good to remember that part. Not many Twixes, I think, on Monday night, but we'll see how we go. Thank you, Anne. Appreciate you jumping on.
Thank
Good
you.
to see
And
always.
well done. Happy birthday.
Thank you. Love you. Bye.
See you. Bye.
Oh, just quickly before I move on, Redback Spider, Dangerfield, 1 kick. What? Hasn't that game been going for a while? All right, let's go to J21. Oh, hello.
Hey, Fiona. How you going?
How are you?
I'm good.
How are you? Thank you for.
I think it's my first time joining, but I just wanted to say I love what you do with the channel and
Thank you.
Yeah, really good.
Well, I was just about to say thank you for being the second person tonight officially who saved the fan cam. So well done.
No, all good, all good. I don't know. I've been watching and the thing that really is frustrating me, I'm hearing a lot like inexperienced and we're a young team and like Collingwood the more experienced team. But the thing that really like has been getting to me lately is like experience doesn't come down to fundamentals and kicking. Like our experienced players like Jai Caldwell, Andrew McGrath and Parrish, there should be no excuse. Like they've played in these games. Like I understand that the young players are going to be up and down. Like you've got to accept that. But when you've got the first minute of the game and Jai Caldwell's missing targets and it's just like, I know people say play the young players, but like how much are they going to learn from getting touched up like that every week and your leaders aren't standing up? Who are they learning from? Like, I don't know. I just don't get it.
And you know what? As soon as that Jai Caldwell handball missed, I don't know if you were there or not, or you're watching on TV, but I'm sure it came through if you did watch it on TV. But the entire crowd just groaned.
Yeah.
And like, I almost could see the exchange of energy, like just that really like, oh no. And I could see the confidence almost sucked out of them in that one moment. I mean, I know that's maybe a dramatic, but
No, to be
it's
honest,
just,
I feel like when you go to an Essendon game, that's what happens. You
it
feel
is.
you hear the groans. It's just
Yes.
an Essendon game. Like,
I have been on this since last year. I am sure that they internalize that energy. And I'm not blaming us. We're groaning because the skill is deplorable and it should be better, but I'm sure they internalize that.
Yeah, no, it's just worrying just because you think of like, what are they working on? I know you go to training quite a lot. Like, are they working on like when the game gets tough? Like, do they learning on taking the sting out of the game and playing possession footy? Because like it's as soon as the game goes up a notch, when the good teams get a hold of us, it always seems like we just go into panic mode or it's fumbling handballs. Like I know you were talking about the handballing game. Yeah, it's great to play it, but we haven't got the team to do it. Like it's just not like, I don't know. It's really frustrating to watch because you're like, I know someone was saying that they said just kick the ball, but like when you like, if we haven't got the skills to hit a target, even just a 2-meter handball, why are we playing a handball game? Like let's like, I don't know. We played possession footy last 2 weeks and they were good, but I don't know.
I was just about to say on that, like, are you surprised that we didn't go into that possession mode a bit more? Like just control for even 40 seconds, possess the ball and try and even cut a 45, find that 45, degree angle and
yeah.
cut,
I think losing Ridley hurts because I feel like I know like he's not 11, like what 12 goal difference, but it's more the sense of he is that calm, composed defender who can take a mark, take his time, hit a target in the back line. Like I think relying on like Ben Mackay hit a target in the back line as much as like I think everyone gets on Ben Mackay. He does his job, but he should like that's Ridley's job to take the sting out of the game. And I don't know. It's worrying because our young players do have a crack. They're going to go up and down. Like we can't get on our young players, but it's more the sense of like our leaders who steps up. Like Archie Roberts is in his 3rd year. Like.
And
what are we doing?
I realized today, like only his 2nd Anzac day. I thought it was actually his 3rd. It's just like if he's not getting overawed and he's bottled that confidence from last week, it's hard to excuse as your first point. How do you excuse the leaders going into their shell? And I'm putting the spotlight, you put it on Caldwell, but on Merritt as well and Parrish. Like,
did someone give Merritt like some butter before the game? Like hands for his hands? Because every time they handball, like there was moments where we could have had repeat inside 50s and he just dropped it. I'm like, and Merritt doesn't do that. And it's like, so you don't really know what's going on, but I don't know. Like we talked about B graders and we've got B graders, C graders, but I think we have B grade coaching. Like I'm not saying Brad Scott needs to go, but like, who's our skill coach? Like James Hird, I know we don't like James Hird, like to say he wants to be the coach again, of course, but like
you can like if you want him coach, you can like that. Absolutely.
I do want him to be the coach, but I love James Hird growing up. So, but in relation, like James Hird said a few weeks ago, they need to get back to their fundamentals. Get your fundamentals right, and then you'll be okay. Like, I just don't.
Do you feel different? Did you feel differently? I'm like after last week. Did you think, or after the Melbourne game, did you think, all right, the skills looked good. We looked like we actually were hitting targets and they're playing. We could play that handball game because we played the possession game and got a bit of territory that way. Has that changed? Like, because I'm confused as to how you can, particularly because I said the Sun. It didn't look like the Pies put as much any more pressure than what the Suns did, and we still were able to execute handballs last week.
The thing is like I did. We played some good footy, but we played like a completely different brand. So, for instance, when Gold Coast did start piling it on, we started to play a little bit more possession footy. We had, I think it was, we had a lot. We had more marks than like I think both the teams that we played. So, but then this week we just went away from it. So I don't understand what the message is. Like I was at the North game and the handballing. It's like you said, the groans. It's like, what are we doing? Like, are we just not confident enough to hit targets? Like, are we just not confident enough to hold possession? And are players just wanting to get rid of the ball as soon as they get it? Like, they don't want to have the. So, yeah, I don't know. It's a bit worrying. And I think the last 2 weeks we kind of fell in love with the whole Peter Wright and Lockie Blackerson. And I really do like Lockie Blackerson. He has a go, but I think we need to play Nick Bryan. Like, Nick Bryan has to come in. Like, I think we get smashed in the center clearances, and I think you need to have a big ruckman who's going to like look at Hawthorn. They got Lloyd Meek and who's one of the other guy they play. Like
Reeves,
I think we're getting destroyed in the midfield. Like Peter Wright tries. I like Peter Wright. He tries, but it's just like, yeah, I don't know. Frustrating.
Yeah, I agree. And so I'll put the same hypothetical to you that I think I put to Jace. If Archie May is playing and he's not injured, because obviously if you're here and you haven't heard, he's potentially done an MCL, so he's not going to play next week. But if he was, yeah, exactly. Like if this day wasn't any worse, like the big boy, he was getting some consistency. But if he's still playing and Brian is not sore, would you bring Brian in for next week? And you would carry May? Yeah. If May was playing, or would you have to drop a big boy up forward to counter? Because maybe 2 meter Peter goes back into the forward line. Like, what's your restructure if that's the?
Because I think they got 5 on the bench now. You can do it. You can have Brian on the. You could have Brian on the bench, and you could have Peter Wright still playing that second ruck because you got the 5 on the bench. You could. That's how Hawthorn utilize it. Like, I don't think they send Lloyd Meek forward. I think it's very rarely he goes forward. But you could have the fifth. You could use Brian as the fifth. Just watching Brian in the VFL, he's just a big unit. Like he's a big, like Peter Wright. It does suck because 2 years ago you had Kyle Langford in the forward line with Jake Stringer, and he'd always get the third best defender.
Yep.
And then Jake Stringer would normally get the second best, and you'd have Pete down there. The problem is now Kyle Langford is getting. Because he had a great year, was getting all the attention. I wish Langford could play forward, but I'm actually liking Archie May, so it's a good question. I'm glad I'm not the coach, but. Yeah,
I know it's so easy to say behind a keyboard, isn't it? It's easy. It's hard to make the assertion if they did actually change the game plan or the structure or the strategy. Probably the better word. Sorry, got there in the end. Strategy going into this game because it did look different. But is that because they lost the confidence in themselves to hit those targets and gain the territory by foot, or is it because they instructed them to do it?
I just don't. Yeah, I just think it's a cop out when we say they've lost. Like our leaders when they're on, Caldwell, even Durham. What's happened to Durham? A year ago, I thought we should have gave the keys to Durham to be the midfielder, be that midfielder we're crying out for. He's so he's an impact player. Get him in there. Now we're resting him at half forward and playing Darcy Parish in the midfield. And I understand Darcy Parish was he gets clearances, but why isn't Durham playing in the midfield more? That's what I don't understand. Why are we resting Durham at half forward? And I think Essendon have we always, when we have midfielders, it's always the half forward role they go into, and it's I don't know, you don't really get 100% out of them what you want. But I don't know, I'm a little bit worried about our youngsters just because, who are they following? I just don't understand. But
that's always the concern with the development, and I think the club are putting all their resources into development, but essentially if you're not learning from a successful winning culture from your leaders, look at the young guys who are learning off Collingwood, Scott Pennebury, Sidebottom. What are those? What's Angus Anderson and Ned Long? And I know he didn't play today, but what are their youngsters learning? Winning and how to stand up in big moments on big days. And that's the concern. But just before I let you go, is it Jay? Is that your name or is that your brand?
Jed, but channel's J21, Jed.
Jed. In terms of the midfield, so obviously Durham and Kako were the ones to make way for Sardis taking pretty much essentially the entirety of their centre bounce attendances. Are you happy to keep Sardis in there? Who is making way? Well, my question is, who's making way to get more centre bounces for Durham? If he's the 100%,
I believe we need to keep persisting with Sardis. We took him at pick 5. We need to see what he can do. And he is an accumulator. But the problem is Essendon, I think, in the midfield, we have too many of the same players. Parish and Sardis are the same player. They're not explosive, but they get clearances and they're tough and they accumulate as the game goes on. But to be honest, it's we're paying, because he's a respected player in the team, but I'd probably make way for Parish. If you're going to do it, if we are going to look ahead to the future, why are we playing Dyson Sharp at half forward? He's not, so I don't understand. I don't understand why we're playing. He was great last year so I don't know. I'm just going to rabble on, but definitely I think Sardis has to stay in. I think Parish has to make way. I think that's the key.
Yeah, and we don't want it to get to a point where just to get games into sharp and exposure, we're just doing it at the half forward line. We need him to get exposure in his prominent position. He was the premier ball win. And you know what? I kind of believe in his ability to do so in the middle.
Yeah.
He
Half
played
forward's a
against
very tough
AFL.
position to play.
Yeah.
Like, it's a very tough position to play. So I don't know,
Yeah.
to play there, and you've never played there, and it's like, Chuck, go there and I don't know, become a forward. It's like, yeah, I don't know. So frustrating, but we'll be right.
We'll be right. How do you see next week going?
12:30, probably won't watch it, to be honest. Nah, well, to be honest, we'll
Yes,
probably
you
come out and
will.
play a quarter. We'll come out and play a quarter, have some hope, and then we'll I'm not expecting much, but just a bit of fight. That's all we want. Like,
Yeah.
we need to
Hopefully it works in reverse. You know, this week we're all expecting like a Bulldogs type scoreline, 100-point loss against Brisbane. So hopefully it works in reverse. But thank you, Jed, so much for joining us. You were fantastic. Well done on your Bomber Banter debut.
all good. No worries. Enjoy.
See ya. Good night. Oh, probably gone by now, but I'm glad you do. That's why we're here. Fazza, I'll save you time for Monday. The only players worth the Twix, Roberts, Kako, Cads. Langers, okay, so you agree with Anthony. Langers deserves one. All right, I'll look out for it. I may have misunderstood Langford's game. All right, let's see how we go with Kev. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can, finally.
Yay.
Thank you for having me on.
You're
It's been a pleasure. You do a really good job. Happy anniversary, by the way. And
Thank you.
yeah, if you ever want to collab or do interviews, DM me and happily to set that up as well.
What's your channel, Kev?
Kev's a Magpie, so I'm a
Kev's Magpie.
Collingwood fan.
Yep.
So I do something similar to what Swoop does.
Okay.
So I do go to training when I can, and I do training videos. I do previews. I also do show visions of the game as well, like when we the team that we play against, and I'll do a watch along. Like I did watch along for Gold Coast and Essendon as well. Going into it, and I was a little bit worried going into this game. I thought it would have been a lot closer, but I'm very happy with the win. But you guys, over the last few weeks, have played really well, and I like Nate Caddy. I think he's a talent that you need to keep for another 10 years, I think, in my opinion.
Yep. Agree, Kev. I think we're all, sufficiently in love with Nate Caddy, and it's a big FU to Tasmania, and should they come knocking on his door, which why wouldn't you? Because the ceiling is very high for Cads, I think.
Yeah, it is. And especially with his goal kicking as well. Like, he can have a bad game against Port Adelaide, but yet when he's going to keep persisting on it. So, and that's one thing I like about him. So the more that you persist with him, and the more that you persist with the goal kicking as well, I think the more better he gets. As chances are he might win the Coleman for you guys, and potentially be a finals player. So hopefully down the track.
I think you're right. I think he's got all the potential to win a Coleman. He'll probably win our goal kicking award before we know it. Like, that's definitely coming now that Peter Wright's out of there. But yeah, I think, in a final, this guy in a final has all the stars written all over it, but we've got to get there first, unfortunately. So
yeah, pretty much.
I mean, you feel free to talk about how good you guys were. Did that come as a shock to you, Kev? At how kind of good you played today, or how well you played?
It's not a shock. Look, we're one of the best defensive teams in the competition. So, I knew that going in that you guys would struggle to, score against a team like Collingwood that are very good defensively. So, I always thought that you leak a lot. So that's why I thought we could try and get you. If it was more of a shootout, which I would be more happy if it was, I thought that definitely would suit in our favour. When I was on the way down to the game, my sister was listening to the Hawthorn Gold Coast game on the radio on the AFL app, and Gold Coast actually gave him a bit of a scare in midway through that second quarter and that third quarter in particular. and therefore in that last quarter, Hawthorn just ran away with it. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting because both teams coming off a 5-day break, but you guys have been playing really good footy, and I I think it's the ladders are more of an outlier than what you guys are showing, because you've played well against Bulldogs in the second half. You guys played well against Melbourne to beat them in gather round. And the fact is that you've competed really well against Gold Coast, in which I think that we would lose to them if we're playing against them next week over there. But again, like when they travel, they tend to lose as well. So yeah, they're a bit inconsistent Gold Coast, but I'm sure that when we play them up there and at their home ground, that they're going to beat us for sure. That's another game that I'm really worried about, especially when I'm going to be doing a watch along. But yeah, can't wait for next week, and it's a short turnaround. Every game is different, so.
Yeah, I think, Gally makes a good point. We suck at the MCG. That's something that Collingwood don't. That Melbourne, another one, just showing that they play like I'm worried. We beat Melbourne at Adelaide Oval, but I don't know about you, chat. I don't think we're beating them at the MCG, and this is a bit of a concern because we all know that's where finals are played, and Collingwood are just gave us another lesson today. So, Barry, what? What are you talking about? What do you mean Geelong just lost?
Yes, Geelong, I can confirm Geelong have lost. I can confirm that.
What is this season, please? Somebody explain to me what this season is.
And Carlton are 7 points down against Fremantle in the second quarter as we speak. So
even that is strange. Like after the week Carlton's had, that is also very strange.
Yeah, I missed one game this year. Funny enough, and that was due to having an operation for my sinus in my nose. So I was able to go to opening round, the Giants game, Carlton, now Essendon. So since being a member of 2018, I've been to like a lot of Anzac Day games. So I absolutely enjoy Anzac Day games. I only witnessed the one loss, which is 2021, but even before that.
Ouch.
Even before that, the 2009 Anzac Day game, 2003, 04, 05. There's plenty of them. But even 2024, when we had the draw, that was something I've never got to experience live. So I actually got to experience that type of, the draw. Like you don't know what was going to happen, but something that I would definitely remember for the rest of my life. But you guys are a good team. But I respect on what you do, Fiona, and respect what you do for this community. And I think it's good to see supporters like you and myself that make content for our teams, and it's good to grow. I know myself, I got 648. I know Swoop. Seeing him at training. When my sister's not around, I'll go up and have a look on his Insta, what day he's on, and I'll definitely join afterwards, like swooping outside, swooping around, that sort of thing. So I like getting along and following all these content creators like Blueboard and that sort of thing as well. So
well, thank you.
It's definitely great.
Thank you, Kev. Appreciate your support. If you are hanging around, head over to Kev's Magpies page. He does watch-alongs, and give him a bit of love. So thank you for joining us tonight, Kev. Well done on the win.
Yeah, you're welcome, and congratulations to Essendon guys. For people in the chat, like you guys are a good team. I know that you're young, but hang in there. I know it's like seeing I'm 35. I'm great to witness what I got to witness. But when I was younger, I used to see Collingwood struggling until like 2002. So I've witnessed like losing grand finals, and I've witnessed 2 premierships in my lifetime. So I'm grateful for that. But Yeah, I know a few Essendon supporters. I deal with them where I work, and also deal with the Carlton supporters and Richmond supporters. So I'll have that banter, but nah, I'm not gonna come on here and rub it in. I'm just on
Good.
say well done, good game. You guys are a really good team, and I
Maybe
think
not at the moment, but we're
not at the
hoping,
moment,
trying
but
to
I
get
think
there.
I think the next few years, I think because you got Archie Roberts, which I'm having my super coach, but yeah, he's a really good player for you guys, and I think you definitely need to keep him. But I think it was a good decision to keep Zach Merritt. I think that was the best decision you guys ever made as a football club, because you needed someone like Zach Merritt to stick around. And you
Well,
guys have been struggling to play finals now, and I think it's time that Essendon do play finals, in my
I think
humble opinion.
that's a great way to end. I agree wholeheartedly. Thank you, Kev.
You're
See
welcome.
you next
See
time.
you, Fiona.
Good night.
Yeah, you too.
Bye. Oh, Teresa, you're a doll. Wanted to send my love and apologies for Penals doing that to you guys. Oh my gosh, the biggest love to you. Yeah, no, I'm happy for you and the wonderful Collingwood people who come in this chat. There are many of you. Penals, just an elite player, and we paid him no respect, as I think Dacos said after the stream, after the game. So that's on us. But well done. Hope you enjoyed that day. You should have. You earned it, and your club did too. So, all right, Ange, let's have a chat. Now, I think I know why you've come on here. I think you're not enjoying all the drop Caldwell chat. Am I right? Can you hear me, Ange? Oh, no. Ange, can you hear me?
I can't hear you, Fiona, and I've got my AirPods in. The sound was fine before, but now I can't hear you at all.
I'm trying to do the charades again. Go to the chat. Okay. Just bear with me, everyone.
Cannot hear anything. Now I'm sounding like Kev.
Yes, you are, exactly. Oh, guys, you're on fire tonight. You're all on it. Somebody in the comments, tell Ange, can you type in the chat, in the public chat, to go to the comment section? Okay, she took herself out. Okay. Right. We tried, but I know why she's here, and we need to hear what Ange says. All right, I'll pop the link in the chat again, just to give her a chance to reconvene. All right, let's. Sorry, guys. I know this isn't very interesting viewing, and just having to stare at me. All right, I'll give Ange a few more minutes to jump back in. All right, let's try again. Can you hear me, Ange?
I can.
Yay! I was just saying that I think I know why you're here, and is it got to do with everybody calling for Caldwell to be dropped?
Don't you dare say a bad word about my boy. I swear to goodness. So no, look, I'm not gonna defend him, because then I'm just gonna sound like it doesn't matter what he does. But that could be the case. It could be the case. He could do whatever he likes, and I don't care. As long as he's out on that field looking sensational as he does.
Yes. Yep.
But
I'm
yes,
so glad that another woman has come on here and let me indulge in that for a second. So thank you.
Well, you know, we are officially the best looking team and the least tattooed team, I would suggest, in the league. And I would like us to keep it that way. Yeah.
What a good call from you. I think we might be. Oh, hang on. I think Caddy and your boy Calders might be the only.
Right. They've got some hidden ones. There's a few hidden ones. I think that's part of the recruitment policy. No tattoo recruitment policy.
I think you could be onto something here with
right.
with that. Yep. All right. We'll go with that. Good observation, Ange.
I just wanted to say thank you. I've wanted to jump on a couple of times, but I'm always commuting for work or whatever. But I was at the game today, and with my my sister Christina. There was quite a few of the crew there. Jez, I've seen you in the chat. It was nice to see Jez. Charlie Dons. There was quite a few of the regular crew around, so it was really nice to see them. But we were sitting about 10, 15 rows back from near the Essendon interchange. And I'd have to say, because I don't want to get into too much of this discussion, because I'm more thinking about the longer term vision, but I did feel the energy was a bit flat. We both sort of commented that for such a big occasion, I wonder if it did take it out of them. There's so many requirements now for, you know, press and media. Every day they're doing stuff. I don't know if that impacted them. But it just, you know, the goal celebrations on the Gold Coast and Melbourne were really noticeable how much they celebrated, and just didn't have that same sense today. And then of course, you know, Collingwood do what Collingwood do, and I was really hoping that wasn't going to be the case, but we've played them back into top form, and you know, they rise for Anzac Day, and they'll probably lose next week, but that's how it works.
There's a very high chance that everything you just said is actually going to happen. But I'm interested in a bit of your view in terms of the energy on the bench. Did you feel that way when the guys were coming off and going on, that there was a bit less? Because I said it with the Caddy goal, that it felt like he was really trying to get the group up and about, and he kind of was celebrating by himself for a second, and that was a big moment. And it was a great goal, and I thought it deserved a bit more energy.
Yeah, I think from, you know, when they came out on the ground at first, that all looked, you know, fine and normal. But I said to my sister, I said to a few people during the week, they have to start from minute one. They have to get on the front foot from minute one. A bit of energy was there, but once the skill errors started to come, you know, it was noticeable. They couldn't really turn that around. It became sort of self-fulfilling. But I feel like, yes, the energy, just seeing some of the faces coming onto the bench, for some of the more senior players as well, they looked a bit done, and just weren't up. They just weren't up as much as they were the last couple of weeks. So I wonder if it's just taken it out of them a bit, and then all the commitments of the week. But anyway, it is what it is. It's a game of football. You should know what to expect and how big the game is. But yeah,
even on that, Ange, as you say, like, and it's a bit with what Jed said as well. I can cop that for the younger players if they're a bit drained. But I won't cop it for the more experienced guys. You don't drop your head and go insular when you start turning the ball over. You dig deeper and you bring more energy to try and overcompensate, and to try and, like, you know, the whole fake it till you make it. Bring more energy and try and shake shit up in the moment, you know? I won't cop that. And then I won't cop it after seeing Archie Roberts, who's a young guy in his second Anzac Day game, and bringing energy. So it's hard to excuse, right?
That's it. Yeah, I think it is. I think, you know, none of us all really know, and they probably themselves, you know, this is the last result they wanted. There's nothing that grinds my gears more than Collingwood fans, you know, and just having to sit there and sit through it. It's not that I don't, it's just them winning, and it's just having to go through it year after year on Anzac Day. It would be wonderful. It'd be wonderful next year to turn the tables. Anyway, that's beside the point. But yeah, I feel like some of the positional changes definitely had an impact. I don't think 2MP had his, you know, Gawn's probably not a massive jumper. He's strong. He's very physical. He moves around the ground well. But these other rucks, they seem to really tag team, and poor to Metapeta really, I don't know. You could tell he was giving his all, but he just couldn't. You know, we got smashed in the middle, as Christina pointed out. Nick Dacos does this sort of big sort of U-turn, and we chase him all the way around, and so he just runs us in circles. And I don't think he had that great a game, but just there were lots of things I think contributed. In summary, rather than trying to dissect every single thing, I think it was just lots of things that contributed. Positional stuff we didn't get right. I don't think the coaching box had the best day. You know, maybe the energy just wasn't as high, being depleted from the Queensland heat. I mean, it was a beautiful sunny day, an amazing Anzac Day, an amazing ceremony, amazing big part of the game. I don't feel they mirrored that sort of energy. So for whatever reason, I think there's probably quite a few things that contributed to today's result. But Longer term, I mean, I've got a very challenging role at work, and I have a lot of responsibility to achieve a certain thing. I feel like I mirror a lot of the emotions that Brad Scott must go through and the things that he goes through. It's going to take time to build that consistency, and that's what we've just seen. We've had 2.5 good weeks. We could have won last week. That would have been maybe created an entirely different energy today. The fact that we just snuffed it right at the end. But I really feel like that building of consistency is one of the biggest challenges that we now face. So we've got the talent. We've got diverse players who can move around. Sure, we've got some of our major contributors who may be a little bit off form, a little bit, not on their best. Maybe my boy Caldwell could, add another 10 possessions a game, but at least he's heading up the tackle count and looking magnificent while doing it, even with a broken nose.
I love that you came prepared. I love that you came prepared for that.
But yeah, look, I think the biggest challenge is just building that consistency, and it's so hard when you're in the eye of the media that you're expected to win every week. It's just not going to happen with this group this year. But if we can wrestle and forge and battle, it's exciting. It's exciting to see these young players have a crack, and they'll probably walk away. I mean, actually Caldwell came off in that last quarter when they were starting to pile on the goals, and he threw the towel over his head and walked, and Zach came off at the same time. They sort of tapped hands as they walked past each other. And Caldwell took the towel off his head and saw that Collingwood just scored another goal. And, you saw him react. He had a visceral reaction to that. So these guys care. Nobody can tell me that they don't care, that they don't try. Seeing that sort of stuff up close really reminds you that these guys feel it, and they don't want that result. It's just how do we bring it together, more consistently, more often, so that we get more of the Melbourne results ongoing. So I'm overall very positive. We're going to have some bumps in the road. We're going to have to ride those bumps in the road.
Wow. I don't know that I need to sit here anymore, and anything I can say can outshine anything you just said. I think you nailed it, like, very, very articulately. Well done, Ange. I think safe to say you need to come on more often and give us that that balance of logic and energy and feeling. All right, before I don't know what, like, you've nailed it, but what changes would you make next week?
Oh, look, I can't believe I'm saying this after his season last season, but I reckon Gresham should have been in that team, and I reckon I'll bring him back. I mean, on the Windsock podcast, I think he got the Henneman last year, didn't he?
Yep.
That we all collectively agreed to. So, that one I didn't really understand. Christine and I talked about that today. We think that was a miss. And I don't mind us being a little bit shorter. Yes, it's Brisbane. Yes, we've got to deal with an incredible back line. But Tom Edwards has to be in the forward line. He and Caddy work beautifully together. They give each other space. 2MP and Caddy, I don't know, they must have the same radar frequency, because they just bump into each other the whole time and mark against each other the whole time and spoil each other. So that doesn't work from my perspective. I don't know. I mean, the chat might tell you this, but didn't Langers start as a backman before we moved him forward and retrained him? So he's just kind of going back to where he always used to be.
Just going back to where he started.
That's right. So I really liked where he played the last couple of weeks, and I saw more energy and vigor, and I don't know, he seemed to move better as well. So I think that feels better to me, and not stuck down back. And please, Andy McGrath on ball. As soon as he went down back, I'm like, oh my God, here we go. Windsock's going to be sitting there going, there's a tunnel ball, there's a McGrath tunnel ball.
Or a few zoomies.
Yeah, exactly. So look, I wouldn't change a lot. I think what we need is some consistency and stability. But I cannot believe I'm saying this. Gresham back in.
Who thought we'd come this far in 2 weeks, not only from last year, but 2 weeks ago, mere 2.5 weeks ago.
Exactly.
He was, and he's all of a sudden, he's holding the hopes in his hands of next week. But it could be simple as that. Archie May out, Gresham in. I don't know. Brad Scott likes it simple sometimes. Maybe we just keep it simple. But
And I will say that Brisbane last year, like we nearly beat them last year. And it was with, half a team. It was one of Caldwell's best games, I will add, my boy. So I'm hoping for the same of rising to that occasion. So, they haven't, they've been a little bit patchy. Yes, they were better last week, but I would like to think that, we draw upon some learnings from that game last year. Each week it's going to be a roller coaster. It's absolutely going to be a roller coaster week to week. So yeah, let's see what they bring. But yeah, Gresham in.
All right, what a great way to end. I think I speak for I shouldn't speak for anybody, but I'm going to speak wildly in saying that you need to join us more often, Ange, because that was a brilliant first Bomber Banter debut. Well done.
Oh, well, thank you for providing the platform. Congratulations on your first anniversary fee, owner. And I stopped myself. I always shorten everyone's name.
You can't be doing that to me on the first birthday. Come on, Ange.
I caught it. I caught it. And a shout out to all the Bomber fans. And I'm going to keep campaigning to bring back the sock. Bring back the wind sock. Okay. I don't think I'll be successful. Right. I'm going to keep campaigning. But thank you. All the best.
Thank you, Ange. Thank you. Bye. Good. Something Ange said about seeing Corwell and seeing the visceral reaction after they kicked another goal and the disappointment. It reminded me of, I think it was after the maybe after the Port game, somebody messaged me, on Instagram and said, after I posted I went to training that week as usual and posted some footage, and someone messaged me and said, doesn't being there doesn't make you just want to like smack them over the head or hit them or like bash them or, not in a literal way, but in a figurative way. And I kind of said, no, actually, it's actually the opposite. When I go to training, I get a really deeply seated deeply connected to the fact that they're humans, and that it's illogical. Well, I believe it's illogical to think that they don't care and that they're not giving effort and they're not trying. So that's it was just interesting to hear, that was the reaction on the bench. And yeah, it was very, very disappointing output, but yeah, we can't assume surely that they don't care. I don't think that's a thing. Mohammed, you're welcome to hang about, and we embrace all opposition supporters, but cool it. Stop being antagonistic, or else you're going in the timeout. All right, let's bring it home, Noel.
Happy birthday to you.
Thank you, legend. How are you?
It's a highlight.
What's a highlight?
It's a highlight. That's a highlight. Because nothing else is.
Funny. So funny.
Thank you. Yeah. Well, so far, so good, eh? We're back to normal. Overuse of handball. Yep. That's what we like.
Sorry, I'm getting delirious now, but that was funny. Yeah, back to normal programming. We should be used to this. In fact, why are we so shocked?
I've written down some notes. I generally don't come on here with any.
Oh no! Somebody's pulled his Wi-Fi. The neighbour. No. Are you there? Oh no! I think Noel's very first fan cam. His internet dropped out, but not since then has Noel struggled.
Oh, here we go.
He's back.
We're back. Sorry. Yeah, I don't know what happened there.
Rhapsody.
Yeah,
they didn't like your highlight joke and all, so they pulled the plug.
That's right, yeah. Obviously not a highlight. These are not excuses or reasons, but for the third year in a row, we've had back-to-back interstate trips. We play in Melbourne and then we go interstate. That takes it out of the young kids. Plus, Gold Coast was a warm day and we get another warm day. So it's a reason. Back to overusing handball and poor disposal. We had three players who play consistently well all day. and Roberts is a given. Funnily enough, they highlighted Pendlebury getting 40 possessions on the scoreboard. Roberts had 40 possessions. Our home game, he goes first. Sorry how he might be the master of everything at Collingwood, but our home game, give us something. Roberts had 42. Note that on the scoreboard. Essendon home game.
Are we clutching? Are we clutching at straws, Noel?
Oh yeah. We played the oldest team and they beat the youngest team. I've worked it out. There are 7 players who have played less than 20 games. So you beat nobody, Collingwood. Good on you. They scraped in against Collingwood, against Carlton last week after they travelled. So maybe travelling does have an effect. Because Carlton are pretty crap and they only scraped in. And that's because they were playing with 17 men most of the time. So they played against a team with 17 men and only won by a point. So maybe travelling does have something to do with it. They hit the post 5 times. The record is 7 in the game. They hit the post 5 times. And they missed probably 5 or 6 other really easy shots. So should have beaten us by a lot more.
That I agree with. I love that you've written notes this week, Noel. This is new.
Yeah, I know. And the other thing was, I didn't think the fans were all that excited at the start of the game. It had a very different feel. I think 95% of the crowd figured we were going to lose anyway. So I think.
Oh. You thought that energy. Okay.
Yeah, maybe that's an energy that you feed off the players as well. The players feed off that energy as well. I think it had a lot more to do with. If you look at Gold Coast in the first quarter, we came out with tackling. We were ferocious at the footy. We were ferocious on them. There was none of that in the first quarter against Collingwood. None of that in the first quarter in the game today. We didn't have that.
No heat. There was a lack of heat.
Yeah. And also Collingwood adjusted in the second quarter. You noticed that they were panicking early in the first quarter. They panicked quite a bit, but then they adjusted. And you can see that adjustment midway through the second quarter. They started to change the way they played, slow the game down, keep control of the ball, and they started to find their mojo. And that was beginning to happen in the second quarter. I don't know what happened. Did we go to the car park and not come back in the second half? Because their attitude was completely different coming out of the rooms in the second half. I also noted down 4 players who we've never heard of kicking goals against us. How come we do that every year? Some bloke we've never heard of ends up winning an Anzac Day medal or something because we've never heard of him, never plays again. McGough, I'm talking about you, Mark McGough. Rowan Steele kicked the opening goal 30 seconds in. His parents must be into horses because Rowan, spelt that way, is the colour of a slightly grey-brown horse. So there you go.
Okay.
Stupid trivia for you.
It's definitely stupid.
Yeah. I've got my Tim Tam mug.
Nice.
And I've got the new Tim Tams as well. Look, new ones. Iced Vovo flavour. I haven't tried them yet. Iced Vovo flavoured Tim Tams. So yeah.
Interesting.
What do you say? Do we put down some of that as reasons for being off the game?
Some explanations and some are excuses, and it's just about which we choose individually to believe. I think, I won't cop the excuses from the older players. Maybe and I think I've said it a few times tonight, so I won't repeat myself for the people who've been here all night. But yeah, you're right about the start of the game energy. But the thing that stood out, I was watching Caddy's face on the replay after he kicked the goal, and there was just no excitement. And you're right. If I'm thinking back to the Raw, maybe it wasn't like it was used to. But again, is that reaching? Should that matter? I want our players to show up no matter what. If there's 3 people in the crowd, they are blessed. They are blessed that as Essendon supporters, we show up no matter what. This is unheralded circumstances, like just unseen circumstances where we have been shit for so long, but our membership and our support base still hangs in there and goes to games. Actually attends games. Doesn't just buy memberships, but we show up. They are fortunate, these players, that they play for a club where their supporter base has that resilience and that pride in the jumper and the love for the jumper. So these players, they need to perform whether there's high energy in the crowd or not. The high energy in the crowd we can get them over the line in a close game or help them, but the effort shouldn't be dictated by the crowd.
But they say the same thing when you play in Adelaide or you're playing West Australia. The one-eyed crowd gets everybody up, and it does help. So the idea is to kill the crowd off when you play interstate. So you cut the energy off. So there must be something in that. But Kako kicks a miraculous goal, and we don't lift. We don't fire up. They got a goal straight after that. Kako's goal, he fought hard. You know, he got lucky goal, but you take them when you can get them. And we don't fire up. You know, snap around the corner from Caddy. They don't fire up. Yeah. Strange coaching moves was another one. I thought a lot of people have mentioned it, but Edwards played in the back line in the last quarter last week, and maybe they got some idea that maybe putting him down there with his footy brain might help them or something. I don't know, but it just didn't seem like a logical manoeuvre. Edwards plays on the forward line, and they ignore him, so he becomes an option, and that's how it's worked the last couple of weeks.
Particularly with the success that it's generated.
So I don't know whether the coach was off his game as well, but the players, the occasion got to them. That's a poor excuse too, but you know it's another thing because Collingwood were nervous about it, and were nervous. Collingwood got themselves settled. They had experienced senior players around them like Dacos and Pendlebury and Sidebottom to settle the young kids down. But it was the young kids who got Collingwood started. As I said, young Steele kicks a goal, and No, I went to the VFL. I met a couple of the parents of a couple of the players. I met the Max's mum and dad. They got two beautiful dogs. One had a Collingwood jumper on, one had an Essendon jumper on, because apparently they barracked for Collingwood before he went to Essendon, I think. And I also met big Brooklyn's, Boston's parents. Boston Dowling.
Boston Dowling, his first game for us.
Yeah. Boston Dowling, he's 6'8". He's built like a Mack truck.
Yeah, they kept a very close eye on Big Boston Dowling in the preseason. So a lot of you have come on here and said that we need to do something about our ruck stocks. In fact, many of you have come on and said, well, I can tell you for a fact they have kept a very close eye on Boston Dowling. He attended every single preseason training session, bar maybe one or two. So when what club were going to take him? Was it Richmond that were going to take him? Yeah, they were going to take him in the preseason.
He was at Collingwood. He was at Collingwood, and he wanted to come to Essendon. He wasn't, according to his mum, he was at Collingwood for a couple of years under on their supplementary list or something. He's 21, so he's not like a baby. He's had a bit of football experience. He broke even in the ruck. I don't think he dominated, but he broke even in the ruck.
Yeah.
Centrefield played half a game. Then they took him off. He had 20 possessions to half time, Centrefield, and then they took him off. Cox played well again in the forward line. I'd have both Cox and McMahon come in because you can play Cox anywhere.
Cox and McMahon in. Oh,
maybe if you're going to make those changes, Newen's got to come in, but Newen's the new Patrick Voss, I think.
Oh no, we're not going through this again, are we?
Yeah, I don't know, but why don't they were playing him as a back pocket, tagging, close checking defender. They put him in the VFL, trying to make him into a midfield half forward. I mean, so I guess they're trying to round him out and give him some,
And then should midway in a game, he's coming into a contract year. We need to see if he can be a weapon in both ends of the ground. Should we need to swing him one way or another?
Yeah. Something they said about Dowling too is apparently he can kick both left and right foot.
Oh, another unicorn.
He's got the ability to do that. So that's handy. Ruckman with skill. Now, Blackiston's game, he had no possessions up to half time, but his opponent hardly had a touch either.
That's right.
I think he did reasonably well on the ruck when he did go in. Peter Wright is not a ruckman. I'll tell you that forever. He's a forward. He wants to be a ruckman. He thinks he's a ruckman and he can play in the ruck, but he's not a ruckman. We need a ruckman. And until we can get one, he's going to be the ruckman until we can get one.
Yeah.
But he's not a ruckman. He's a key forward. And when he goes in the ruck, it seems to affect his goal kicking. 2 easy goals for him, really. One from 55 out was probably a bit hard, but for him, not too difficult.
No, he chews those up. Needed to kick both.
Yeah, he did. He needed to kick both.
Easy for him.
Especially at the time, because it was crucial time. The passage of play that I did like, there was a couple of nice passages of play I did like. When Durham ran from the back line, laid a tackle, kept running, and ended up getting the ball on the in the forward line. So he doesn't do that often enough. That's what we want to see from him all the time, the effort like that. Because that was a great kick as well to set him up. It was at Sharp, or was it Day Wicks that he, with that pass. It was one of those. 3 best players for me. 3 players who were really good. Roberts, outstanding yet again. I thought El Houli played a really good game, but he'll probably get dropped because they always seem to drop him. He always seems to be an excuse. And I thought the performance of Langford was pretty good too. I mean, Langford had a tough job. They're trying to make him a bit of a swing man. He's played everywhere. He's been a winger. He's been on half back line. He's played pull forward. He's
just in the ruck.
And he probably haven't done that. But yeah, they've tried him in a few places. So Caddy kicks a couple of those goals early. That game's different. He missed a couple of tough shots early. And remember, Dacos kicked 4 behinds today.
Were they tough shots just back on Caddy? I don't think they were tough shots. I think he got a bit nervous. A bit nervous on the
first one was probably a nervous
There was
one.
really no penetration to the kick. It was a bit, I don't know. I think those shots he's gobbling up. Well, he should be, I should say.
Yeah. And the kick in the ball into the man of the mark by Dyson Sharp was disappointing as well, because that really, again, was in a time where maybe we were slightly get a little bit, but I don't think we ever had the energy, even if we kicked the goal. I don't know if we had the energy to say, let's get it going. There wasn't much going on like that. There was a little bit. Roberts and Farrow work well together, I've noticed. They seem to pass the ball a lot to each other, or they look for each other a lot. Farrow uses the ball pretty well, so Roberts is going to say, well, here's my escape. I'm not going to fuck up the kick. I'll just give it to this bloke, and he'll do it for me. So those 2 guys work pretty well together.
Hey, TL, I don't know if you're joking saying that. I don't know if that's a joke. I'm choosing to believe that it's a joke.
Yeah, I don't think we want to be playing Langford in the ruck.
But maybe just for shits and gigs, so we give him the full 360 AFL experience. We
there was a player back in the old days who was a bit of a favourite of mine, Gary Folds. He played every position except ruck in his career. He played a game against Richmond where he kicked 7 goals at 3/4 time, and Sheedy said, you're being greedy. He took him off and moved him to the back line because he was being too greedy, kicking 7 goals. He could have kicked 10, but Sheedy said, no, I'll move you. So that Gary Folds was never out of third gear. And he just cruised along and got his kick away. They very rarely ever caught him, and he was one of those players. I think Farrow's got a bit of that. I see a lot of Gary Folds style with Farrow. He seems to have a little bit of time to think about it. A couple of times he rushed it, but again, that's just nerves. There's he's got
Ridley and Farrow in that back line is just oh my god, it's just chef's kiss. It's a shame that Ridley's body is not getting the message. How else can I deliver this memo to Jordan Ridley's body? Because I tell you what, chat and anybody watching, it has nothing to do with the high performance team or Ridley himself, because I watched this guy diligently just kill himself at training, not kill himself, but like put in so many hard yards to get himself set up for a good season. It's really hard to take. I shouldn't be harping on about it. I should really get over it, shouldn't I? But
I see Fazzo there saying that it was Blackson's worst game. It probably was, but he's not going to get dropped for that.
Yes. I actually don't think it was his worst game. I don't think it was his best game, but personally, I don't think it was his worst.
He was playing in defence and he did the job that he was told to do. He kept his man quiet. it would be nice if he got a few disposals himself, but he's concentrating on the job at hand. When he went into the ruck, he actually got free kicks given to him. He did the cross the line thing once, but the blatant, and I'm listening to the radio commentators, and I think it was the guy that does Fox Footy who said umpires need to go back to school and learn what holding the ball is. Because apparently last night's game was bad. There was that one where the Collingwood bloke literally threw it behind him, and no free kick was for a throw and a tackle. I think it was the second quarter. There was, umpires had no bearing on the game, no bearing on the result, but all we want is consistency.
They've had a bad weekend. I watch a lot of footy. My God, I felt sorry for Richmond last night. Horrific.
Yeah.
Worst display.
They're us just a different colour stripe. They get the same umpiring decisions that we get. None.
I think they're confused. I really think they're confused. Quite honestly, the holding the ball is, as you say, confusion. There's confusion. They don't know what to pay, when to pay it. It's however a certain umpire feels at any given point in time. It's not. It's not.
I don't know if it's a rule though, because they just call it incorrect disposal. They don't even call it holding the ball now. So I don't even think holding the ball really exists that much. Well, they seem to be reluctant to want to pay it because they want the game to keep flowing. So they don't want to have ball ups or stopping the game all the time. So I don't know whether that's part of an agenda by the rules committee or something, because it's not just us. There's lots of them. There was a couple where we got tackled, and the 50-metre penalties they seem to decide to pay them sometimes. One time, Collingwood players kicked the ball running up the ground. 50-metre penalty. No, not paying that.
The caddy non-50. I think he missed that goal. No, he got the goal, I think. But he missed, they didn't give him the 50. That's obvious. That shit's obvious. I mean, again, had nothing to do with the umpires, but we're allowed to have a bit of a whinge.
Yeah.
And a wang on about how bad. But I think, if anything, if it makes you feel any better, I think they've been, I don't know how the games have gone tonight, but this round has not been well umpired. They've just had a bad.
Well, I think last week there was a lot of complaints last week too about.
Okay. Well, I thought it's been okay. It's never going to be 100% perfect, but when it's tipping the scales into way worse than positive, something's going wrong. Just before you go on, Noel.
You see in the crowd last night, Mick Malloy in the crowd with Razor Ray. Razor Ray was sitting next to Mick Malloy in the crowd explaining an umpiring decision to him.
Do you want to answer this
I
question?
haven't sold the bed. Still there. No.
No takers. No takers.
Well,
fair enough.
Yeah, it would help if I advertised it.
Well, this is advertisement. I should charge you advertising rate.
Advertising rate, yeah. Come to Noel's fire sale.
Or
tomorrow.
I'll just get commission when you sell it.
Yeah, fire sale. We're gonna have a fire sale tomorrow. Insurance claim. I feel nice. I've had the power outage twice, so maybe that was what that flash was. Lucky when I was in Sydney, it didn't happen because my fridge was. I came home the other night and my fridge just turned off. I go, what's going on here? So something happened overnight. Lucky that didn't happen while I was in Sydney. It would have been flooded with frozen peas down here. It wouldn't have been a good thing to come home to. But look, we've got Brisbane next week, and we don't have, we played pretty well against them last week. We also last time, and we played better at Marvel for some reason.
Yeah, I know, and I'm the first to defend Marvel. I love the place. Much more convenient for me, much more comfortable for me than the MCG. The MCG, I acknowledge, is church. That is the home of football, and we need to be good there. So I'm the first to defend Marvel, but we can't keep saying we play better there because it's getting us nowhere, right?
Yeah.
We need to just
And the club is pushing to play more games at the MCG because they feel that Collingwood hog it and that there's a lot of resentment about that. And they want to play more games at the MCG. But we've got to learn to bloody play on the ground and work out how to use it. Otherwise, what's the benefit of that? There's no benefit.
He's going to sold the bed for a pack of Gaiety biscuits so Fiona can try them.
No,
Will, where were you, please? Was it last week, chat, that I tried the Gaiety biscuits at the end?
Yeah.
Tried them, and now they're. Oh, by the way, I meant to ask you, Noel, and chat. I put the rest of them in the fridge. Do you keep yours in the fridge or in the cupboard?
On a hot day, yes. On a hot
Well,
day.
it's not hot at the. It's
They
not
don't
hot in
normally
Melbourne.
last that long. A packet of Gaities don't last more than 10 minutes into the first quarter. They're gone. Generally,
Okay.
they don't last that long. But I had these in the fridge. If it's a hot day, yeah, you put your biscuits in the fridge. A lot of people don't like debate about putting eggs in the fridge too. And tomato sauce is another one.
Nah,
People-
all of that I put in the fridge. But chocolate I've never historically put in the fridge. But I did put these Gaities in the fridge.
Yeah.
And look, if you put hot chips in front of me, there's going to be none. No matter how many you put in front of me, there is none left over, and I am not sharing.
Look what I
Chocolate
picked
and
up
lollies.
today. Pink salt chips.
Himalayan pink salt, very good for you.
Yes, I'll be enjoying those.
All right, well, you got your. Are you going to watch how much are we into the game, the Carlton game? Geez, they're doing all right, aren't they?
There's still a bit of time in that one, but I'm thinking of going to Marvel tomorrow to watch the Saints. I've got an AFL membership, so I'll just sneak into the AFL members tomorrow.
It is. You're right. It is. We have one that's MCG sized and one that's Marvel sized, and we train on the MCG one. Would you believe?
But that's not the same, is it? I mean, it's
not
also
the
the
same.
same thing about the crowd noise, because I believe in the Mason Cox documentary, Nathan Buckley was explaining Anzac Day. He said when you walk in 90,000 people and it's like they're standing over the top of you. So you could just imagine how daunting that is for someone who's never played the AFL, as Mason Cox hadn't really played much. Played his first game against us in that Anzac Day game. You got 90,000 people. You can't copy that at training.
Nah, you can't.
Copy. That's what that's you're running out in the field. Look, I've stood up on stages and done stand-up comedy to 12 people, but to do it in front of 3,000 people, it's a lot more different. So you do get that, that sense of nervousness and can play on you. So
you can't
be able to recreate that training.
I was just about to say you can't create an atmosphere. You can't recreate, the kind of Colosseum type environment that it is in front of, it adds more pressure and, you just can't.
And you're training against your own teammates, and then they're not going to go as hard as the opposition is going to go as hard at you as well.
Exactly, which is why
you can't simulate that, even though you play simulation games. That's going to. But as I said, they tried putting a nightclub on the moon, but they found there was no atmosphere. So it's the same base.
I am ashamed that I giggled even half-heartedly at that, Noel, and that's a
bad
good.
dad joke.
I think that's Will, I appreciate that. Yeah, we did get donuts today. So the biscuit banter was back, and I'm always happy for the biscuit banter.
I tell you what, there's frozen jam donuts you can buy at Coles. Oh, they're so good, man.
What?
Yes, I'll show you them.
Oh no! Why is your fridge so close?
Oh, frozen jam donuts. Stick them in your microwave.
Oh, sorry.
What?
I thought you meant. Why did I think that you could eat a frozen, like you eat it frozen? But that's the jam donut is frozen, and the idea is to heat it up, right?
Yeah.
Why did my brain go? You know why? Because letting you into another bit about me, but like ice cream is my thing in terms of a sweet. If I ever go to a sweet outside of a Twix bar, it's ice cream, and I have had jam donut ice cream, and my brain immediately went to that. But the idea is to heat that up and have a hot jam donut.
They also do the Spanish. They also have the Spanish churro ones as well, which are not bad.
Oh.
But I'll tell you, Coles have got a heart ice cream now. It's the shape of a heart. It's a chocolate heart. They used to be years and years ago when I was a kid. We used to have chocolate heart. Well, they've got raspberry on one side and vanilla on the other. Coles heart. But we used to have an ice cream called the heart. It was like a chocolate wedge shape, like a heart, and also the ice cream called the two-in-one, which was two ice creams you could share with your brother. You could break it in half and you got a stick each. But but I recommend the Coles hearts are pretty nice too. So there you go.
Cold Tots, yeah,
so
I think
ice creams now.
I think I probably would break my teeth if I tried to bite into that frozen jam donut. I don't think that's the idea.
Now put them
So I
in the
couldn't sue for that.
or an air fryer.
Okay, well,
yeah.
Toph has tried them. Have you tried them yet? No? Have you opened that?
Yeah, I've
those
had them
jam
before,
donuts? Oh, you have. Okay.
And you put custard. You know, put custard on them, or a bit of cream rice, or whatever, if you want to add something extra. Or just have them on their own. But they work all right. Yeah, they're not bad.
I mean, there really should be TL. Moby, you get around the cheesecake, okay?
There's a Twix biscuits. Have you seen the Twix biscuits?
I have seen them. Yep, but
They're
I'm
pretty
almost
good.
like don't. If it's not in ice cream form, then I don't want a bar of it because you just can't, bastardize something that is just pure perfection.
And there's also a Twix ice milk as well in a bottle. Twix flavored milk. Twix flavored milk.
No.
Yeah, like they've got a Mars bar one. They've got they had a Twix and they've got a Twix one. Yeah, and a Maltesers one. They've got a few different ones. Yeah. So
okay.
I'll email you something later on. I'll email you something later on.
Now we're talking. Bernie. And affogato with frangelica. Oh. You know what? I could really. Does anybody deliver? Does Uber deliver firstly at this hour? And will they bring me an affogato? I might not sleep.
Have you had Galliano?
It would cheer me up.
Have you ever had Galliano?
Yes.
Have that on your. Put a bit of that in your coffee.
Now we're talking.
Yeah, bellissimo, as I call it in Italian.
See, how completely shit did I feel 3.5 hours ago? And now we're talking about Twixes, and you're letting me talk about hot chips and all my favourite things.
I did tell you the name of it. I did tell you the history.
A crazy person. We're talking about Tim Tams. We're talking about Buffalo Bills and affogatos. I'm here for it. See, and it's okay to get a bit dumb and stupid just to take the edge off life and being an Essendon supporter. So,
Calippo. What about Calippos? Remember Calippos?
Yeah, but it's getting a bit cold for the Calippos.
Yeah. I'll tell you something. You get the icy poles, ice lolly things. What are they called?
A veggie bar.
Super Dupers. Right? Get a Super Duper. Put it in your blender with a little bit of rum. Beautiful. Just a little bit of rum in it, and just blend it up in your blender. And it's like having a margarita.
Yeah, margarita. We're going to put some booze in there. Yep, love that. Yeah. What's your favourite cake to make and eat, Fiona? Definitely lemon. Anything lemon, citrus gal. But generally the lemony the better. Lemon tart. Love a lemon tart.
You like lemon spread? Have you ever had lemon spread?
Generally anything ice creamy, but in terms of cake, that's where it's at. Lemon.
Yeah. Have you had lemon spread?
Lemon spread, yes. Like it's kind of like a lemon butter or a lemon curd.
Yeah, lemon butter, yeah. You put it on a sandwich.
Curd.
Yeah.
A pizza shop may sell it.
Lemon
pizza shop, what are we talking about now? Sorry. Like the ice cream, the Twix ice cream?
Yeah, the other thing.
Wayne's going for the Buffalo Bills. Jeez, it's been a long time since I've had a Buffalo Bill. They still sell those at the servos and stuff.
You can still buy them.
What? You broke into... I need more information about this. Oh my God, that is the best thing you could, like anyone could ever do. What a story. I wish I'd done that when I was, wow. Broke it. Did you steal an ice cream? Well, I shouldn't condone stealing and breaking into ice cream trucks, but man.
Did you hear about the guy that stole the tram up here on Port Melbourne? Guy stole a tram and drove it and picked up fares and took it around. He drove it for about an hour, 2 hours or so. He planned it for about
bored?
He planned it for about 3 or 4 weeks because there's a depot down at the end there, light rail, and he's jumped on the tram and he's taken it out, and he eventually got pulled over somewhere in Brunswick, I think, by the cops. Eventually, But he was taking fares, letting people on and off the tram. He was just being the tram driver for the day.
I mean, if he's not hurting anybody, I mean, again, you shouldn't be doing that shit. But like, I rate the confidence.
They didn't charge him. They didn't charge him for it, but he got a caution. But they all laughed about it. So, but ever since then, they've upped their security on their.
So I'm interested to know how he actually got himself in that position where he could essentially hijack a tram. Sorry,
he was watching the comings and goings for quite a while, and working out when they changed shifts and all this sort of stuff. Because he's a nut train driver. He's a tram enthusiast, right? I had a couple of guys I used to go to school with who were tram conductors, and they used to derail the tram at the end of the night so they could get overtime for getting the tram fixed. So he used to derail down near the zoo.
Anybody else done anything cool? If you want to confess in the chat, we're at the hour. It's after hours. MBD, Aldi will always be your first shop. You know what? I don't mind their ice cream range. Have to admit,
yeah, it's pretty good.
I think I've gone through. I've tried just about all their range, all the shops' range, Woolies, IGA.
Their knockoff Golden Daytime isn't bad. Their Aldi knockoff Golden Daytime isn't bad.
Yep.
They also sell Eskimo pies, which you don't see very often these days.
Have we ever had a ricotta and pear tart? Not ricotta, but like frangipani and pear goes very well. I'm still not over this, Wayne. Just like absolutely loving this for you. Love that you did this.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not saying that everybody should be breaking into ice cream shops, but man, Fazard, the game was that bad. We were talking about lemon curds and Buffalo Bills. Absolutely. We've been to therapy for 3 hours, and now we're at the, after the doctors, you get a lollipop. Yeah. Like this is what this is. After we've talked about the car crash, we've looked at the car crash, we've dissected it, and now we just get the lollipop.
And we get the soul. We've cleansed our soul, and now we're just filling it up with sweetness and niceness.
That's right. That's exactly right. Oh,
lemon crisp, Fiona. Lemon crisp biscuit. You're into your lemon. Lemon crisp biscuit, a salty biscuit with lemon in the middle. Some people find it quite a bit like me, a bit, one way or the other, whether people like me or not, right? Polarizing is the word, yeah. So, yeah, some people find it a bit polarizing, but the lemon crisp, if you're into your lemon, you like the lemon crisp. It's a salty biscuit with lemon.
Okay.
Yeah. So
oh my God, you're gonna send me broke. I've got to go out and give me diabetes at the same time. I've got to go out and buy all these new biscuits that somehow I was sheltered, not trying all these biscuits.
You've got to go something. You might as well go with doing something you like.
True, exactly. Lemon sponge with pistachio cream. Ooh, don't mind a bit of pistachio every now and then.
I'll tell you what, though, the winner for me at Port Melbourne Football Ground, the donut lady there sells Macho donuts, the best donuts I've ever had in my life.
Sorry, excuse me. Did you say nacho? Did you say nacho?
No, matcha.
Oh, for 1 second, I thought you meant a nacho, like a nacho flavored donut, and I was about to end the stream right here because don't bring that bullshit into the world.
No.
Although maybe I've just given somebody an idea, and if I have given you, I am copywriting a nacho donut. And if that becomes a thing, you all heard it here first.
Well,
here we go. The ice cream truck depot was next to my mate's house. I love this. In fact, I think I'm going to need more of the story, but you don't have to do it here today. But I still am loving this. Chocolate muffin, mandarin segments, and thickened cream. That's a nice dessert. If you don't always discuss desserts at the end of the fan cams, I think you should. Well, the biscuit banter got some traction. So now we're on, I don't know, somebody find a good name for it. Pommy labelled the biscuit banter. Who wants to name the cake? The cake conversation. That could be it.
Crummy, getting right in there. But I could see that Mr. Whippy Van getting knocked off. That'd be a fun thing, wouldn't it?
Well, that's the image I have. That's the image I have in my head.
Just get a whip out down the road with me, Mr. Whippy Van, for 5 minutes. Somebody in America invented the hot dog hamburger too, which is another thing, a bit of a disgrace. A round bun with the hot dog sticking in the middle of it. Yeah. So, yeah, there's all sorts
Rhapsody.
of weird inventions.
Man, that would be fun. In fact, you know what? Maybe we do it in the members only stream. We just confess after dark, all our deep darkest secrets. No, that could get.
I can confess that I once went to the under-19s game and didn't back for Essendon. Oh, but Essendon wasn't playing, so it was okay.
Well, you cheated. That's not that you broke the rules, so you are officially out of After Dark Club.
That's confession time. That was confession. That was a little confession.
Right.
No, I used to go to under-19s games back in the day. Under-19s used to play in the opposite ground to the senior game. My uncle was a runner at Collingwood for a number of years, so he used to run the messages for the coaches. So I used to go to under-19s matches. But, yeah, it wasn't that exciting. But when I saw Collingwood supporters arguing with each other, I said, no, I'm not backing for them. That's the only reason why I didn't pick them. My brother went for them, and got other family members all got sucked in. I never got sucked in. So, yeah.
Well, we're glad you didn't, because you probably wouldn't be here if you did. So, all right, everybody.
Meet you guys. And happy birthday once again.
Thank you.
I'm so glad to be that I discovered this channel. It's been fantastically good fun to chat to you. And I met you one time, which was nice as well. I ran into Jade at the VFL the other day.
Good.
So I'm running into a few people. If you see me at an Essendon game, you can say hello, and I might.
You all know his face. You all know his face now. If you see him, definitely say hello. Same goes with me. If you see me, definitely say hello. Thank you so much, everybody here. I think if you're still here right now, or if you're watching this post after it, goes into the internet, sphere. Thank you so much for a wonderful year of Bomber Banter. You have all contributed in your own ways. I'm grateful for your support, and it has been an incredible ride so far, and it's because of you. So thank you so much. Please hit the like button, subscribe button, all that jazz. I still will never enjoy asking you to do that, but it does help an enormous amount. To all the members, thank you so much. You know how much you mean to me, and thank you, chat. You've been great. It's been a fun night. I definitely feel better. I hope you do too. We'll see you Monday night for the Twix rating show. It's not going to be fun, but Pom and I will make it fun for you and talk about some random shit that'll keep us entertained. So thank you, everybody.
2 tricks for Fiona. 2 tricks for Fiona for being a classy game that she is. Give her a couple of tricks. At least 2.
At least.
All right. Fine.
I think that's a bit rough. I think that's a bit rough, but
all right. 5, but at the very least, she deserves 2.
Well, I definitely might polish off 2 before the night's end. What time so that's done for me. All right, everybody.
Good luck,
Thank
everyone.
you so much. Thank you, everybody. Good night. Take
Bye,
care of
Bomber.
yourselves. Enjoy the rest of the weekend, and I'll see you all Monday night. Bye, Noel.
Bye.